Thanks for explaining that. It is a kind of weird thing to try to figure out. But I would say, though, the Karam issue is he is the power that be, or the administration. What did you call it? They want to challenge the
establishment.
He is the establishment, though, right?
Well, I guess.
Well, he has been.
Now
He has been of the
now
school
he's
board.
on administrative leave, so I guess he's not.
It is. We talked about this. It is a very confusing thing.
I'm almost out of time. What do you want to add? I'm sorry, I'm way behind today.
Oh, what do I want to add? Okay, and so I want to add that I should come back on next week because Scott McNamara and Tony Pacenti stole all my good time.
They did.
They did.
All
Good
right.
guys.
We'll
Glad to
do it.
follow them, but still, I want to talk just very quickly about my tree ordinance. This is something that we passed at the last council meeting. It's an ordinance that will regulate how the city takes care of and permits trees in the city right-of-way. And having passed a tree ordinance, which has lots of different sort of components to it, we will now be eligible to become a Tree City USA. And when you drive around the country, you will occasionally see municipalities and villages and towns flying this flag that says Tree City USA. We have not been eligible until now because we needed a tree ordinance and we needed a tree board. And we're going to have those things and we're going to apply and we're going to be a Tree City USA.
Well, I don't know how we can.
And
not
we're going
be
to plant a lot more trees.
Tree City. If you go into East Utica, the first thing you hear is 1, 2, 3.
Not to mention,
But
you go outside any business and you just smell pot. It's Tree City.
We're going to plant a
growers.
lot more trees in the coming years. That's certainly what I want. Trees mitigate against climate change. Trees mitigate against flooding. They keep neighborhoods cooler, both by shade and by transpiration. They literally increase the value of your home. If you cut down a big, beautiful, healthy oak tree in front of your house because you don't like raking its leaves, you've decreased your property value. So for all sorts of reasons, we want trees in the city. We've been losing our canopy over the last 20 years. We're going to start really rebuilding it. And the tree ordinance is going to help us do that.
For mayor, Celeste Friend, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Online at CordellCordell.com. 518-554-0000. 100 Great Oaks Boulevard, Suite 110, Albany, New York, 12203.
You're invited to the 2023 Glimmerglass Festival, the world-renowned summer opera and musical theater festival located just minutes from Cooperstown. Glimmerglass has been presenting innovative, rare, and familiar works of opera and classic Broadway for nearly 50 years in a summer-long celebration of the arts that's an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley. This year's festival runs July 7th through August 20th, with productions that speak to the aspirations, curiosity, and passions of growing up, and what can happen when life doesn't always play along. Purchase tickets today for Puccini's La Boheme, Bernstein's Candide, Gounod's Romeo and Juliet, Handel's Rinaldo, and a world premiere youth opera. Learn more at glimmerglass.org. The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, museums, and world-class opera and musical theater. Truly a one-of-a-kind summer destination and just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley. Join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Pretty sure we just yearn for something to celebrate and things to do because, you know, today is and just so happens to be May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Big Star Wars Day today because here we are on May 4th. And then tomorrow, of course, is May 5th, and we'll be dealing with all of the guacamole and the salsa and the margaritas, and it's on a Friday. And we're probably going to get a little sunshine tomorrow as things are probably going to warm up a little bit. So it'll be quite the celebration.
This week was looking like a very rough week weather-wise. I guess it has been, but we're almost through it. We're almost to the other side of that sunshine.
Things are going to turn around just a little bit, although we're not. It looked like 70s all next week, and now it looks more like 60s all of next week.
Well, this week is all rain and 40s. So
last night the Utica Comets with a rough game. Boy, they were. It was close all game long, and then Toronto kind of pulled away. There was an empty net goal at the end, which resulted in a final score of 5-2. So now Toronto leads 2-1. This series will be going back to Toronto after coming home tomorrow night at the Adirondack Bank Center. It'll be home again tomorrow night.
Yeah, Friday night at the Odd.
That's a good point. That is, as long as the Comets win Friday night, it'll be going back to Toronto.
Yeah, so they're down 2-1 in the series, and let's go Comets.
What else? This morning we have a whole bunch to get to. Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski in talking about hepatitis C. And while this may, you may be thinking, well, there's no way that would affect me. You may be surprised if you fall into the category of baby boomer. It's most likely that you should be tested, and it can have some varying symptoms that you really wouldn't put your finger on. Just typical fatigue and aches and pains. That you would never even realize isn't just part of getting older. It's a part of the fact that you might have hepatitis C. And you can be tested for it, and it is 100% curable. We'll speak with Dr. Shemaleski on it coming up a little later on. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We'll get to that. Mighty John, the record guy, this morning was. We have someone who came up with a Utica club. It was not just the records. So back in the 60s, they produced a record that was like a 60s psychedelic song, I guess. And it's pretty cool. You see them all in this, almost looks like the Playboy mansion. They're all in there, and they're dancing. They're having a 60s party, and they're singing and dancing to this Utica club song. This person has, with this picture sleeve, which is always valuable, right?
Yeah.
Has that along with a box set that includes some other Utica Club type records and whatever company produced the box set, maybe a promotional record in there for them. And then at the bottom of it, there are 4 capsules, squares, side by side, that have in it the original hops that were used back in the 60s to make Utica Club.
Yeah, I think it
is a cool piece.
Yeah, it's quite a collector's item. It'd be interesting, I think, to ask Mighty John, is it more of a, well, this is what you were saying, is it more of a beer collector?
Is it more of a beer collectible or a record collectible?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no record label on there. So I wonder. And who's saying that there's an artist who's actually singing in the song, so maybe that artist is collectible? I don't know. We'll speak with John about it. Plus 10 other records and a few bonuses that are worth $200 or more. That vinyl that's in your garage, that vinyl that you might pick up at a garage sale, who knows? It might be worth some money. We'll speak with him in the 8 o'clock hour, and then some. And also this morning, Leon Koziel is on. A name we haven't heard in a while. What are we talking about here?
So I'll give you the headline on this press release that he sent out. It's on the AI front, right? We've heard a lot about AI this week.
Artificial intelligence.
Citizen group unveils mission to halt imminent creation of a digital god. a looming digital god. I'll let him explain it, but he's got some serious concerns about where artificial intelligence is going, and he wanted to come on and share it with us. I believe he appeared, I don't want to say picketed or protested, but I think he was appearing at a Brandon Williams town hall meeting earlier this week, kind of demanding the congressman either take action, support this, or take the lead on the issue.
Now, you might look at this and say, wow, that's a bit off the deep end. But I don't think it is. I think it is probably unique to have that being a local issue for us around here.
Yeah.
But, it's certainly going to ultimately affect all of us at some point. But it is a big issue. It is a big worldwide issue. And I guess bringing it to your congressman is probably something that would be a step, right? If you're, but he's all in on this. Very bothered by this and very fearful of this. Do you think this is Davey not in there?
No, he's not, sorry.
Okay. I'm assuming this is Tanya J. Powers. Good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning.
We're on the air. We're shorthanded again.
Tanya, may the
today.
4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you.
Thank you. You too.
So is that the so where does this obviously comes all back from this all stems from the Star Wars trilogy and then beyond.
Right. Of course, May the Force be with you is the phrase, and then it kind of morphed into May the Fourth be with you. One of the earliest uses of the phrase May the Fourth be with you was in 1979, like a couple of years after the movie came out, the first Star Wars movie. And a London newspaper writer had congratulated the new Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher, on her first day of office. And in a full-page ad, it said, May the Fourth be with you, Maggie. Congratulations. This is
I didn't realize
as
that.
one of the first places that we actually saw this, used that way, a little turn phrase for May the Force be with you.
Well, it's funny that think of all the phrases that have developed out of, I want to say newspaper headlines, but more so New York Daily News and New York Post headlines. They're always, the front page always features very creative headlines. Still today.
They come up with stuff that seems. I think the beauty in some of theirs is they're obvious.
Yeah.
But they're not something people normally think of. And that's a talent. Headline writing is.
Yeah, I think they do So, are you a big Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I have loved Star Wars since I first saw it in a theater when the first one came out.
Yeah.
So, yes.
I have to say that Disney does a great job at the theme park at Disney World in Orlando. Does a great job. Some of those the rides and just you go into that portion of the park. It's really something and realistic. It's almost as if you're flying in a spaceship. But I really wonder, has Disney taken the Star Wars brand and just exploited it to the point where it doesn't have the draw that it used to have?
I don't know. I mean, even the movies. You can look at the last parts of the movies that we've seen. Like the ones in recent years. That showed Carrie Fisher as General Leia, and those were just. I think for Star Wars fans, especially those of us who've been with the franchise the whole time. I think it's still big.
Yeah.
You can also point to the success of The Mandalorian. That is one of the reasons. I mean, that series has been huge. I think it had to go into a different area. You know what I'm saying? It had to morph into a different thing in order to stay around. And there were so many characters and so many ways they could have gone with that.
Yeah. You're right, and it is interesting. I do recall, I was never a big Star Wars fan, but when, I don't know, the push came, the last push where they digitized some of the older movies, and then they came out with new movies. And it was right the perfect age for my kids, and it was really interesting reintroducing or introducing them to the original Star Wars movies because they still stand. And it is quite interesting to introduce that to a new generation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I've been a Han Solo fan for a very long time. So,
I only can say I can picture you, Tanya, at Halloween dressing up with the earmuff haircut, and I can see it. I can see you.
I'm telling you, it's please let me go to Disney and let me drive the Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
I would be very
Awesome.
happy with that.
Tanya, thank you, and may the 4th be with you.
Thank you.
All right, have a great day. Tanya G. Powers. It is, it's kind of a pop culture thing. People are all about these things these days.
Yes, they're about these things these days. Yes.
I was never into Star Wars. Thought it was kind of corny, and it wasn't until it came back out in the 90s that I ended up going back and seeing all the movies. And yeah, I mean it's definitely good. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame yesterday announcing their nominees, official nominees for 2023, and one of those that is nominated, it's not all that rock and roll. Willie Nelson is among those.
Well, we always have this conversation.
Who are a part of the 2023 class. Here's a little montage of the 2023 class, and then we'll talk about who's in the montage. Here we go.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? Hey, y'all, prepare yourself for the rubber band. Man, you're bound to lose control when the rubber band starts to jam. I gotta have faith because I got to have faith.
You know all these, huh?
Yes.
Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive is when yet. It's your primitive is when yet. Killing in the name of.
Is that Kid Rock?
And it's Rage Against the Machine. Yeah.
Duh. Oh my gosh.
Missy Elliott before that, George Michael, The Spinners, Sheryl Crow, Willie Nelson, and Kate Bush. I don't know. I guess we're long past arguing over what it should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because clearly the Spinners are not considered rock and roll, and nor would Willie Nelson be.
Or Missy Elliott.
But it seems to be more like a music Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2023.
Yeah, and all of those really candidates are, musical heavyweights, no question about it. But
yeah, I guess. Yeah, I was never a Spinners fan, but and Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson is still going at it. A lot of these guys still going at it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
still smoking pot.
I don't know the answer to that.
Has he
but
found the fountain of youth?
I imagine maybe that's what it is for him. I don't know. That's
Although I thought I heard maybe he was having some lung issues, so he was quitting or trying to quit.
Florida man claims that he was brutally attacked by a man with a golf club for walking on the cart path of a golf course.
Oh, my goodness.
Eddie Orobtig was arrested for the incident. This is the victim, Joseph Sivak, talking about how he was allegedly attacked by this man, and why? Because he walked on the cart path of a golf course. Here's audio.
Get the F off of there, really angry, and I turned around like, we're getting off, sorry, and continues swearing at me. My wife was there. She's yelling, stop, let's get away from him. He lunges at me. This happened twice, like with the golf club. I'm like, stop it, you can't hit me. She just told me this today. I had the same thought. She said, this is how I'm going to lose him. It's like a living hell. It's like a nightmare.
It does seem like it's a little over the top, and he begins to break up talking about it right there. But he ended up being hospitalized, possible broken ribs, traumatic brain injury, and possibly a broken jaw. He was attacked by a guy with a golf.
Who was this guy? This happened at a golf course?
Yeah.
Who was this lunatic? Has he been arrested?
I believe he was arrested, and he was arrested. Eddie Orobatig, or something like that, at a golf course in Florida. Yeah, sometimes you're playing along and you mouth back at somebody. You think it's going to end right there, and then all of a sudden they become a road rage person, or they pull a gun out of their glove compartment, or they begin chasing you down with a golf club, and they begin beating you with it.
That's just unbelievable. Nobody jumped in. Nobody else tried to.
Also in Florida, a deputy is getting praised for helping deliver a baby on the side of the road. Here's audio from the actual birth from Master Deputy Daniel Red Jones on his body cam. Here we go.
She's ready to go. Okay, all right, look at me. Look at me. Breathe through, all right, Mama? Is this your first baby? No? How many?
This is 6.
6?
6.
Woo, y'all need a better hobby, okay?
Hi, wait, she's pushing.
Give me a 52.
Ah, she's coming.
There we go. I got a baby. Don't pull. Don't pull. There you go, Mama. I told you I didn't want to deliver a baby. Another baby. Oh, pretty little girl.
Well, there you go. That's pretty wild. You seem moved by very moved by that.
I was that the police officer or the father who?
That's the police officer.
He kind of sounded moved by it. Also,
I think
I wonder if he got emotional.
He was witnessing it right in front of his very eyes. There's got to be some emotion to that.
I told you I wasn't going to do it again.
Wow. And one more. A dog in New Hampshire rescued by firefighters when she got her head stuck in a tree while running after something.
Oh, my gosh. My dog would totally do something like this.
This is the Milford Fire Assistant Chief Mark Britton talking about the rescuing the dog. The dog's name is Gracie.
This is probably the second one since I've been on the department that we've had a rescue. We've had animals in ponds and stuff, but this is the first time we've had to pull a dog out of a tree. Not a common thing at all.
Not a common thing at all.
And by the way, I just want to mention before we move on that Mark sent along the next suggestion for Star Wars.
Okay.
Like the little play on words. Obi-Wan Pierogi.
Oh, nice. So Mark is Polish, must be.
Yes, he is.
And then an update on the missing document from the Masonic Lodge.
What?
At this point, it is still missing. So if you go to our website, there's a story up there. They're offering a $1,000 reward for the return of this 200-year-old document that was lost somewhere between Newport and Verona. So they were, it was Commander Stuart W. Card had taken the relics to an event at the Masonic Lodge in Poland. Upon bringing the items back home, he loaded them in his vehicle, and he believes that he loaded as he was loading into his vehicle, he put the precious document, which is in a metal case, which is where it's stored. He believes he put it up on the top of his vehicle, then closed up the vehicle, thought he'd put everything in the car, and drove off. When he reached his destination in Verona, he realized it wasn't there, and at that point, he thought, oh my, I must have left it on the top of the car. So it fell off somewhere along the route, he believes. This is terrible.
It's like a 200-year-old document, not like
it is exactly 200 years old. Yeah, it is the creation of the Utica Commandery, and it's, as we said, it's in a metal box. And actually, on there it includes some incredible signatures. Thomas Proctor, DeWitt Clinton, who was former U.S. Senator, and actually was the first Grand Master of the Utica chapter. He was governor and mayor of New York City, governor of New York, as well as a U.S. senator.
So a friend of mine, I mentioned this, I don't know if I said this on the air, I ran into a friend of mine who said he found the story interesting and he has a knack for finding things. So he was going, I believe yesterday, to go kind of volunteer and start looking around along the side of the route there.
According to Commander Card, he said that he wanted to thank people, that he has had many people volunteer, including many people who listen to this radio station, have volunteered to and have already gone out and searched. So far, it has not been found, and I kind of wonder, he believes this is how it happened. You do kind of wonder, though, right? And if you were to find this, you would maybe think, boy, this has great value. And maybe they wouldn't want to return it. I hope that's not the case.
I hope that's not the case also, but I don't know if something, if the average person would know what that is or care what that is.
Well,
that
if you
document,
look at a
it's
document
very
like
valuable.
that and you look at the signatures on there, you'd begin to say, wow, this has got to be worth a lot of money. And the fact that it's placed in a metal case would tell you that it isn't just something that blew out of somebody's window, that it's clearly something that someone treasures. You would hope if someone finds it, they return it.
Not to be negative, but the world we live in today, I wouldn't be surprised if someone picked it up and had no idea who it was, and they were like, look, this guy's name was Do It.
Yeah.
And what the other one was Thomas Proctor. That one's obviously very recognizable.
Yeah,
also.
I mean, just the fact that it's on parchment. I mean, you know this is an original and it's a relic. And the way that it's stored, you would know you have your hands on something with value.
Oh.
So they're offering a $1,000 reward right now for the person that is able to return it. So if you have the opportunity to go walk in the route, it's quite a route. It's all the way from Poland to, and the actual route is on our website. Each turn that he took along the highway, the route is up there. You can check it out. So if you really did want to do some searching, you'd be able to retrace his tracks.
And to some extent, I mean, if you really want to do this and think about it, it's like a little treasure chest.
Little treasure hunt.
It's worth $1,000. You got to just find the what is it, the treasure, which is a document, but it's worth some money.
Right now, it's Steve Pawnee Mazda. Their Move to Mazda sales event is back. Ricky Z and everybody just down the road at Steve Pawnee Mazda, ready to take care of you even today. 0.9% APR financing up to 36 months on all new 2023 Mazdas, CX-30s, CX-5s, and CX-50s. And if you've been noticing a lot more of the Mazda brand driving on the highway next to you, it's no coincidence. There are many more out there. Maybe it's time for you to be driving an award-winning Mazda. It's the Move to Mazda sales events going on right now from the dealership that has achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steve Pawnee Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Honey, why are you peeking out the window and spying on the neighbors?
I can't stop watching what they're doing to their house. Look at that. They added a sunroom and put in a pool. Do you think they won the lottery?
No, not the lottery. Julie and Jeff got a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank. They're using the equity from their home to renovate.
Really?
Yes, Adirondack Bank has home equity rates as low as 3.99% annual percentage rate. You can access the equity in your home to fund almost anything.
Huh. Maybe we should call Adirondack Bank. What about a new kitchen? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the roof. Oh, and even take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about. And, of course, I need a new car.
Slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank.
Stop into your local Adirondack Bank for more information on home equity loan rates as low as 3.99% APR. Or call 877-404-2265 for credit costs and terms. Apply today at AdirondackBank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
What is a heat pump? I'm Jen from Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. We get this question all the time. Heat pumps are the most energy-efficient heating equipment available. With the price of oil and propane going up, switching your heating system will save you money. Not to mention all the rebates and tax incentives that are available. Our experienced team at Standard will evaluate your home and design a system that's right for you. Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating. Call us today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
We invest in Herkimer and Oneida counties. We work with the community to make things better for old and young alike. Today, tomorrow, and in the years to come. Every day, we put the community's long-term savings to work. Who are we? We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties. FoundationHOC.org. We're your community foundation, working to build a vibrant region with opportunity for all.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pants Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Richard is piping in this morning early on. Earlier we had Celeste Friend on. She's running for mayor of Utica. She was on talking about complete streets and all of that. I do disagree with her when she says that, people were fighting for it, people were fighting against it. I don't believe, and maybe we aren't in the middle of this thing, but I feel like the people fighting for it were fighting much harder than the people fighting against it. People fighting against it were like, this is stupid, and that's where it ended. People fighting for it were out gathering the votes that were needed in order to get this thing passed by the Common Council. So I do think those that were for it, who may not be in the majority, by the way, doesn't seem like they are. For those who are for it, they seem to fight a lot harder. I'll tell you what Richard said. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Richard said, this lady is nothing but BS. I listened to her interview, and she is a terrible liar. She totally avoided your question about a bike lane. The correct answer is there is no painted bike lane anymore. Well, we know that, and she said there wasn't any, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think she avoided that. Zero, Zippo, none, says Richard. She wouldn't say that to you. Plus, she is not a nice person at all, and she is widely hated. She's bad news with money.
Wow, that's quite harsh.
Yeah, I imagine Richard won't be voting for her, but I don't know that Richard lives in Utica anyway.
Right, I don't think that he...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think your point is spot on. I'm kind of confused as to why it was such an important issue to some people, like it had to be done now. When we did talk to Samantha Colosimo-Test on yesterday's show, we asked when a new administration comes in at the start of the new year, can they change this?
And the answer to that is, I imagine they could with a simple signature.
Yes. Well, I think they would need to get it through the council.
Maybe vote on it all over again.
Yeah, but I just found it interesting that that Frank DeBrango and Celeste, again, they'll be in a Democratic primary for the party's nomination to run for mayor. We're obviously on opposite sides of this issue, and Frank DeBrango was, I think, the only Democrat on the council to vote against this, and he voted against it twice.
Forbes has revealed its 10 highest paid athletes for 2023.
Okay.
Do you have any idea who might be on the list?
I mean, we're talking probably LeBron James, although this factors in endorsements as well. I guess I was going to think
LeBron James is number 4 on the list. He's worth paid. He last year was paid $119.5 million.
Wow. I got to get me one of those jobs.
Anybody, Davey, you want to throw one on the list?
I'll just throw out 2.
Okay.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is not on the list.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods is no longer on the list. He used to be. Yeah. Remember, this is not about their worth, their net worth. This is how much they were paid over the course of last year through this year.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry is number 8 on the list at $100.4 million.
Shohei Ohtani?
Not on the list.
Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge, not on the list.
Bryce Harper.
Bryce Hopper not on the list. Number 1, Cristiano Ronaldo at $136 million. Lionel Messi at $130 million. And I don't even know how to say this person's name, and probably makes me look stupid. Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe.
Mbappe. $120 million.
So
followed by LeBron James.
So the top 3 are all soccer players, huh? Wow.
Yeah. That's why I kind of don't know that Mbappe.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wow. It just shows you how.
136 million, 130 million, 120 million. The top 3, and then there's an NBA player.
Yeah, that's incredible. I wonder if it matters that we're coming off. It was a World Cup last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't remember what giant tournament, but I was watching daily as they were going through this, and it was. I'm going to get the teams wrong. I think it was France, and who else was it? Germany who played. I'd have to check, but anyway, Messi and Mbappe. It was like this incredible game where I think they both had 3 goals in the game, or one had 2 and one had 3. It was really an epic final. I wonder if the fact that we're coming off the heels of that tournament.
That's where they made their money last year.
Yeah, so I wonder if they're going to make another $130 million this year.
Might be. By the way, Phil Mickelson is on the list.
Well, he's a live golfer.
$106 million. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more live golfers on that list. I bet you all the golfers on that.
Dustin Johnson is $107 million. He's
live
6th
golfer?
on the list. Roger Federer is at $95.1 million. And then Kevin Durant at $89.1 million. So those are your top 10 earners for 2022-23. You have a warning for people, and I got a warning yesterday on our YouTube feed. Somebody had said that we should, because there are a lot of vulnerable people out there, that we should make sure that we talk about all these scams and warn people on a regular basis so they don't fall for these, because the scams are getting better and better. And even in some cases utilizing artificial intelligence today, mimicking people's voices, etc. You were almost the victim of one that seemed quite complex because it involved more than one person being scammed.
Well, I'm still lost as to how this scam plays out, how they take it over. But I think somebody was trying to take over. I know somebody was trying to take over my Facebook page. A former, he's a friend of mine, but a former buddy he was married to my cousin. Hey, can you do me a favor? What's going on? Let's see. I'm texting from Messenger. It shows I need to add 3 trusted contacts to receive a code so I can get my page back. And I'm like, receive a code? Yes. Could you please help me? I said, okay, so you need to send me a friend request, and I just simply accept it. This had gone on over the course of a couple days, this back and forth.
And he's saying he's been locked out of his Facebook page.
Right.
And I don't know how he could be talking to you in Messenger if he's locked out of his page.
Well, they are 2 different apps.
Okay. All right.
So I said, I don't know what you're talking about. And he said, please send me the code you get. And I said, I didn't get any kind of a code, and I never got a friend request. He said, look in your email. So ultimately, I go in my email, and there is an email from Facebook with, I think, 6 or 8-digit code. But on it, and I'm thinking to myself, I go and I copy it, because apparently I'm thinking to myself, they're just trying to verify I'm a real person, and they're going to reinstate his page.
Yeah.
Well, when I go look at it, it says, here's the code to reset Jeff Manaski's Facebook page. And I'm like, I'm not trying to reset my page.
So if you'd have hit that button, it would have handed over your Facebook account to somebody else.
I think I would have locked it out. But again, because it was somebody I knew, I kind of copied the code, and I was going to paste it into Messenger and send it to him.
You're helping out someone.
Yeah, I'm helping someone scam me almost.
Right. But you don't think that your friend was trying to scam you.
Well, no, right. I think he had been hacked.
So you're helping him, but in reality, he had been hacked. And wow.
So I just want to let people know.
That's a pretty complex scam.
If you start getting requests from people whose pages you've been associated with, your friends, really, friends and family, and they start requesting a code because they've been locked out of Facebook, and it's, look, I need you to do me a solid. This would really help me.
Yeah.
You're one of my, 3 to 5 trusted friends on Facebook. Don't fall for that stuff. When they start asking you for your codes, what you're actually resetting is your Facebook page. And I'm wondering if this happened to him how somebody came in and took over his page.
Yeah, yeah.
So what I've done is I blocked the account. I just blocked the account. I didn't know what to do.
I got to tell you, the other day I was getting this scam call, and it was they were claiming to be from Mazda Financial, and they're like, you have to click here because you haven't paid your car bill, and I'm like, I pay my car bill; it's completely paid. Turns out it was real, and I'd forgotten to pay.
Oh, you're kidding?
No, that's not true, but it could be true. That's the confusion of all of this.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes you're like, God, is this? And you get to that point where I'm not going to click on anything. So you're missing stuff that is
Yes,
real.
yes.
The best way to do it is to, like, if it's a business, if it's like, Facebook, log into your own account, and or if it's a AT&T or a bill or something, log in on your own. Don't click the link that's in the email. The link that's in the email is the problem.
Yes. It usually is.
And usually it's it's because it's convenient. You just hit it, and it's going to take care of it. But beware. I mean, it's to the point now where if you want to get someone to do something, you probably shouldn't send them a link in an email because they may very well avoid it, and that's probably wise for them to do. Okay, news coming up. We'll talk about hepatitis C as well. Is it something you should be tested for? We'll get into that with Dr. Shemaleski in the Falcon Clinic. WIBX Utica Rome. It is 7 o'clock.
They gave him some messed up medication. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Dion Patterson's mother claims. Her son is now in jail charged with murder for a shooting in Atlanta. Police say Patterson then stole a truck and was on the run for hours, but was found last night.
Police located the suspect near Truist Park Stadium in suburban Cobb County.
Fox's Jonathan Seri.
Authorities say he opened fire in a medical office building waiting room here in Midtown Atlanta, seriously injuring 4 women and killing 38-year-old Amy St. Pierre, who worked for the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Atlanta's mayor and Democratic Georgia Senator Raphael Warnock both called for stricter gun laws. Ukraine's president's gone to The Hague in the Netherlands, home to the International Criminal Court, amid investigations into alleged Russian war crimes. Volodymyr Zelensky says,
"We all want to see different Vladimir here."
He wants Russian leader Vladimir Putin sentenced for those crimes. It's up to 23 Ukrainians dead in Russian attacks on Kherson that came hours after Russia claimed and Ukraine denied a drone attack on the Kremlin to try to assassinate President Putin. Republicans in Congress already probing any possible ties President Biden has to his son Hunter's business dealings have something new to investigate.
House Oversight Committee Chairman Republican James Comer and Iowa Republican Senator Chuck Grassley say the FBI has an unclassified document describing a criminal scheme involving then Vice President Biden. The claim comes from a whistleblower alleging an exchange of money with a foreign national for policy decisions.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Now, the White House says Republicans have spent 5 years attacking the Biden family with unfounded, unproven allegations. The Fed's done it again, implementing another interest rate hike, a 1/4 point.
We have raised interest rates by 5 percentage points in a little more than a year.
To the highest level in 16 years, but Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says they may hold off raising rates again for a while as inflation's coming down. America's listening to Fox News.
The internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
So full. Too many maiden names. And social security numbers. Where'd you find those? By the password bar. Can't miss them.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
When a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty, who's there for them or the families left behind? Who's helping our homeless veterans and our nation to never forget 9/11? The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. More than 95 cents of every dollar donated to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T, the number 2, T.org.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 42 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX News Time is 7:03. This news update is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Governor Hochul highlighting changes to bail reform and funding for other safety measures in the state's new budget. The governor and state leaders reached a deal to give judges greater discretion to set bail for the most serious criminal offenses. There's also funding to improve the effectiveness of the criminal justice system, and the budget allows for increased enforcement for illegal marijuana shops across the state, which have been the target of robberies. Lawmakers approved the budget on Tuesday, more than a month after the April 1st deadline. The spending plan came in at $229 million. Well, the budget got a raise, and minimum wage New Yorkers will be getting another raise at the end of this year. The state's minimum wage will increase, in fact, each year for the next 3 years under the late state budget. The current $15 per hour minimum wage in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester will increase to $16 in 2024, then jump by 50 cents each of the next 2 years, reaching $17 by 2026. Upstate New York, now at $14.20, will move to $15 at the end of this year, followed by 2 years of 50-cent bumps to reach $16 upstate by 2026. More on this on our website at WIBX950.com. Sad news in the Syracuse area as a teenage driver was killed in a crash, and authorities say a memorial service has been announced for the teenager who lost her life in that accident in Oswego County. Calling hours for 17-year-old Riley Bartlett will be from 4 to 7 p.m. tomorrow at the Foster Funeral Home in Fulton. Her funeral is set for 3 o'clock this weekend. Bartlett died last weekend after being in a vehicle that she was driving. It crashed in Granby. Her passenger and boyfriend, 16-year-old Brady Niver, remains in critical condition. The cause of the accident is still being investigated. The start of the summer, just a few weeks out. Enchanted Forest Water Safari still looking to hire employees for the summer season to help fill positions that are currently open. Instant interview sessions have been scheduled for this coming weekend, Saturday, in fact, and May 13th at the resort's main offices in Old Forge. Applicants must be at least 16. There are jobs available for a wide range of opportunities. Students, teachers, and retirees all being welcomed. More information on their website at watersafari.com/jobs. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast, again calling for some scattered rain showers this afternoon, although we are looking at a high in the mid-50s, a bit warmer than yesterday. Mostly cloudy with some scattered snow showers after 1 p.m. As I mentioned, today's high 55. Scattered rain showers possible tonight. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and overnight low of 40. More rain possible Friday, but partly sunny skies for parts of the afternoon. Tomorrow's high 60. Sunny skies on Saturday, a high of 66. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 67. And Monday, mostly sunny skies and a high just shy of 70. Right now, Smitty, we have 42 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. It is 7:07. In sports, the Utica Comets coming up short last night in Game 3 of their second-round AHL playoff series against the Toronto Marlies, as the Marlies scored 3 times in the third period, taking a 5-2 victory. Toronto now just 1 game away from advancing to the next round. The Comets need a win at home on Friday night, and then a series deciding Game 5 would come up on Sunday north of the border. But the Comets will be home on Friday night. Smitty, I've lost my sports report here. Where is it?
And the big club didn't fare so well last night either against Carolina. Schmidt allowed 2 goals in the first period and ended up losing 5-1.
Yeah, I saw it was not a close game last night. It is a 5-1 final as the Devils drop game 1 of that series. They hope to get even at a game apiece when they again play Carolina in Game 2. That's coming up tomorrow night. The Knicks hoping to take a lead in their best-of-7 second-round playoff series. They visit Miami for Game 3 of the series coming up on Saturday afternoon. The Knicks coming off a 6-point win to tie the series. Jalen Brunson led all scorers with 30 points. The Knicks look to make it past the second round for the first time since knocking out the Heat in 7 games during the 2000 conference semifinals. The Mets swept in a doubleheader against the Detroit Tigers yesterday. Maybe Larry was right. maybe the wheels are going to come off early this year. I don't think so, but we lost 2 to the Detroit Tigers yesterday. 6-5 was the final in the first game, and then I think the second game it was 6-1 when I fell asleep. Adam Ottavino was charged with the loss. The Yankees get a walk-off. They walked it off in the finale against the Guardians. 4-3 was the final. Clark Schmidt got the start and struck out 4 batters, allowing 2 unearned runs. Albert Abreu credited with the victory after pitching a scoreless inning in relief. Willie Calhoun and Jake Bowers each got solo shots. Go ahead.
Yeah, for the Mets, Max Scherzer was on the mound for the second game. Didn't fare so well. And, of course, the Yankees holding their breath because Harrison Baber and Isaiah Conner-Filippa collided in the outfield going for a ball. So there's some concern out there.
So is Stanton on the list, injured list?
Yeah.
And Judge. And now Bader, possibly.
Well, Bader just came back on Tuesday after having an oblique. So
who was the possibly injured outfielder last night?
Isaiah.
Oh, Conner-Filippa?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, and then the pitching.
One more note on in sports. The Jets bringing in another Aaron Rodgers familiar face. They've signed former Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb to a 1-year deal. Cobb joins Alan Lazard, Tim Boyle, and Billy Turner as the 4th ex-Packer to join the Jets this offseason. Offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett also served as the Packers OC from 2019 to 2021. Cobb had been included on Rodgers' wish list of players that he recommended to the team during their meeting in March. You know, for Andrew's sake, I hope the Jets don't actually make it to the Super Bowl this year because he's going to be disappointed. I mean, they are building. They're like Packers light is what they are.
Another thing that you mentioned that you put on the website I was reading last night, Latavius Murray was signed by the Bills. He's going to be in Syracuse tomorrow night signing autographs at the Syracuse Mets games from 6:30 to 7.
Very cool.
So if anybody's a big Buffalo Bills fan like me, you might want to check out in Syracuse Mets and get a chance to meet Latavius Murray, the newest member of the Buffalo Bills.
So Latavius,
local kid.
Yeah, went to Onondaga High School. His final 2 years in high school, 58 touchdowns over 2 seasons. 58. Unbelievable. Anyway, he's now a Bill. You can read more about that on our website at WIBX950.com. Very busy hour. We'll be talking more AI, talking actually some Hep C with Dr. Shimileski, and a busy program here this hour. We'll take your comments as well. Always enjoy those. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products and online shops, it's all under one new roof at Max's Print Shop in Marcy. Order anytime and any quantity in person or online at maxsprintshop.com. Since 1978, we pride ourselves on personally meeting every customer's need. We can take your project from design to production. And remember, Max's Print Shop will stitch anything. And we mean anything in the Utica, Rome area. Find us at 9555 River Road in Marcy or online at maxsprintshop.com.
Those April showers could bring May hot tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and price to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Democrats just want to win the next election, and they're trying to do it with ceaseless money printing. Hi, Stephen K. Bannon. It is critical to protect your retirement right now with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word Safeguard to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all. Text the word Safeguard to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group.
Warner Sales and Service. Building relationships, building trust.
This is Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Mow like a pro with Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers. Hustler mowers are designed to be maintenance and service-friendly for the everyday homeowner while not sacrificing the build and cut quality they're known for. From the heavy-duty frame to the welded steel deck to their trademark smooth track steering, Hustler Turf zero-turn mowers deliver professional-grade cut quality for a perfectly manicured lawn. It's your chance to be the envy of your neighborhood. Come see us at Warner Sales and Service on the Greenway New London Road in Rome, just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. And we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply and the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
It doesn't matter the weather or the cost of gas. When he says go, you go. Luckily, AmeriQ is always there to connect where you are with wherever he wants to be. And when you both spot a shiny new toy, AmeriQ makes it easy to apply for a lease-like auto loan with lower monthly payments. Online, in person, or anywhere in between. AmeriQ and a smooth ride. And an even smoother ride for this guy. Membership eligibility required. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation. You know, it is that time of year where things are going to start to warm up, even though we're not, and it'll get there eventually. And you'll be thinking about cooling your home and doing it efficiently, and there are different options through Collis in their cooling technology, such as central air or ductless mini splits that can really cool your home. For example, with temperatures rising, you may be thinking about upgrading your home comfort system. Collis will come in. They'll do an energy efficiency test for you. They audit your home on efficiency, and that could include your heating. It could include insulation, right down to which light bulbs you're using in your home. They can help you save money. Reach out to them today. And if you're looking for employment, Collis is hiring. They're looking for insulation installers as well as a crew leader for their insulation team. Head over to their careers page at fredfcollis.com, and it'll give you all the details. Recently, Collis was the 2023 recipient of the President's Award at the Carrier Conference held in Austin. Carrier notes that their President's Award is a prestigious recognition given to Carrier dealers who demonstrate outstanding leadership in areas including management, customer satisfaction, and the list goes on, including operational excellence, and they certainly have that at Collis. And when you're in need, it could be the coldest in the winter, the coldest time of the winter, Collis is on standby for you. Reach out today. Fred F. Collis & Sons, heating, cooling, and insulation.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Manaski was asking about, you were asking about last night, the Comets game last night. You know, the worry is, here we are in the playoffs. It's a Wednesday night game. What kind of crowd is going to be out there on a Wednesday night? It was loaded.
Oh, it was loaded last night.
It was packed.
Oh, that's great to hear.
I mean, every suite was filled. The seats were filled. It was jam packed.
Yeah. So, well, that's a great thing to hear. I
think your worry was the weather's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
It's a Wednesday night. No worries there. Now the Comets are down 2-1 after losing last night. Friday night's game, there's still tickets available for that. And you want to fill the odd again. Hopefully they keep the series alive.
I just wasn't the last home game they had. There was like tailgating during the day, right? It wasn't a really nice day, so I knew that wasn't going to be going on yesterday. But let's go Comets.
it was a good crowd last night. You got to say that we are having no issues with supporting all of the new teams that are out there, because we saw the same type of crowd for the Pioneers. Same type of crowd for Utica City FC when they were in the playoffs. So it's all pretty big. Okay, in studio from the Falcon Clinic, Dr. Shimoleski and Dr. Zielinski. Gentlemen, docs, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I know we're starting out with talk about hepatitis C, and I'm not sure people have a lot of knowledge about this, but they may be having symptoms and don't even realize it.
I'd actually even take that one step further. People may not be having symptoms and also not realizing it because most people who have Hep C, believe it or not, are asymptomatic.
Interesting.
And in that period where they have it, don't realize they have it before they've been treated for it, they can be infecting other people, which is a scary thought, but that's going on right now, and that's why we wanted to talk to you about this today.
Okay. And they can be infecting other people. I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah, in fact, you were kind of astonished by the statistics about that.
So in that presentation that you have there, one of the statistics is that one infected person with hepatitis C, on average, will infect about 20 other people before they're diagnosed and treated.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, first, I want to talk about how do you get it. But I've seen stories where there were public health alerts because maybe somebody who worked at a particular store or restaurant was handling things, and I think we've seen this a few times where they had to send out a community warning that if you had eaten at a particular place, on a particular weekend, that a test was required. And again, I think it's unknowingly passing this on to people.
And we're certainly, we're not here to scare people. We're here to deliver a message of hope, actually. There's ability to get tested, get treated. And I think right now, if it's okay, I'll actually hand it off to Dr. Shimoleski. Do you want to talk a little bit about the different kinds of hepatitis C?
Yeah, I think you brought that up quite well. Hepatitis simply means an inflammation, and there are lots of different inflammation of different organs, including the liver. I think what you might be alluding to, there's hepatitis A, and that's usually that's foodborne,
right? Right.
And that's why they call it the fecal oral route on there, and that's why people need to wash their hands and so forth. And food handlers, they have to wear gloves on there,
And this would be hepatitis C is something completely different. And baby boomers, why is it prevalent more so in baby boomers? Well, is it the blood transfusions from years ago? Or
yes. Before 1992, we were screening for a number of different things, but didn't really have a test for hepatitis C. And so there were a number of people who, after a car accident or a major surgery of the heart or lungs or whatever, they would get a blood transfusion if they needed it. And unknowingly, later, they would have symptoms. And then finally, when tests came out for hepatitis C, sometimes years later, they were surprised to find that they have hepatitis C. So getting back, there's hepatitis A, B, and C. B and C are in some ways similar because it's especially through things like blood, mentioned blood transfusion, through things like sharing needles is another one, and also through unprotected sexual transmission or transmission of body fluids.
Okay. So you could be passing it on to a spouse, a partner, and not even realize that you've had it. And now you're both positive.
Yeah.
And you can live with it. You might not even know, as Dr. Zielinski said, you might not even know until what? What is what are the dangers of hepatitis C untreated?
Right. You want me to talk a little bit about the symptoms? So, like we were talking about before, people can live with Hep C for years and not even know they have it because they're going about their business. They're completely asymptomatic. Usually when it finally does start to manifest itself, the main symptoms are fatigue, jaundice, so yellowing of the skin and eyes. And there can be kind of flu-like symptoms that go along with it, muscle aches, joint pains, stuff like that. But again, most people who have it have no symptoms whatsoever, which is why Dr. Shimoleski and I are very strong proponents of universal screening. I know that for when my primary care patients come to me for their annual physicals, and yours as well, we offer them a hepatitis C test. If someone has, relatively low risk, like they're not engaging in some of the behaviors that Dr. Shimoleski was saying before, not necessarily something you need to get every year, but I would advocate probably getting it at least every couple years because, again, things can be asymptomatic and rear their ugly head later on.
Yeah. And the symptoms, what are you, if you're, so you mentioned the yellowing of the skin in the eyes, fatigue, and that, and the fatigue and the muscle pain is something that I think most people.
It's so common.
It is.
See, that's the problem.
I have the symptom.
They're ubiquitous.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
If you go to Dr. Google, I mean, these people would say, well, I have to have this because I'm tired. I even itch once in a while. I've gained a little weight. Maybe there's fluid in my abdomen or whatever. And, of course, there are people who eat carrots like crazy. And there is a thing called keratemia, where their skin gets yellow, but not their eyes.
Okay.
Whereas with a jaundice, is what it's called, from somebody who has a hepatitis problem, their skin and their eyes get yellow there.
I do hate to say that you see it a lot when coming across people who maybe live on the streets. You see the yellowing in the eyes.
But I think that's one of the reasons that we wanted to bring this out. We're not hepatitis specialists. But I did take, through the behest of New York State Department of Health, I was the first physician to go out to Buffalo, and I had specific training on how to basically work up to diagnose and then eventually to treat patients. And I saw patients there in Buffalo during the course there. And, came back and introduced that here for the first time. Before that, hepatitis C was basically being treated by gastroenterologists. So you might think, well, okay, why are we here? We are an osteopathic primary care clinic. Why are we involved in this?
Yeah.
Well, the Falcon Clinic, as you know, is the Falcon Clinic for Health, Wellness, and Recovery. The recovery part means for people who have opiate addiction, alcoholism, a few other things. We include things like smoking cessation. But it's not just that subset of people who are homeless or people who have chemical dependency of different types or use needles. That is a population. The problem is that it's out there in the general population. So when you're talking about, the Falcon Clinic for Health, Wellness, and Recovery, it's incumbent on us as primary care physicians to make sure we do check for a number of different things, not just the heart, not just the cholesterol, the blood sugar, but even hepatitis C, because that can lead to things like liver failure. Okay, with the yellowing of the skin, big belly with a lot of fluid and weakness, and eventually can even lead to death and or liver transplant. That's how serious it gets.
So your suggestion is not only for baby boomers, but to at least be tested. And if you're not practicing unhealthy, if you're not involved in unhealthy practices, it's still possible that you could have contracted it.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Just imagine, we have patients, let's say, who are martial artists, mixed martial arts, and sometimes they will be exposed to blood.
Right.
Or people who are boxers exposed to blood, or in their work environment,
We have a lot of healthcare professionals that
healthcare professionals who accidentally get a needle stick,
right?
Or EMTs,
right?
That are, the first responders to an accident of some sort, and there's blood at the scene.
I mean, some of the famous people, just to get away from people, not get away, people who are struggling with addiction and stuff. But you have famous people: Naomi Judd, Pamela Anderson, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith. People like that, and who openly said, I had hepatitis. Some of them died from that, but a lot of them got treatment for these things.
And the treatment is, it is treatable.
Yes. In fact, we try to be cautious about using this word, Doc, as you know, in medicine in today's day and age. It is not only treatable, but it is curable.
Okay.
If it's, if it's caught and treated in a timely fashion. Usually how we treat it is with oral pills. I think the most common medication used out there for it is called Epclusa, which is just a once-a-day pill for 12 weeks. And it's generally very well tolerated with very few side effects. And then once the treatment is over, we would recheck the patient again for the presence of the hepatitis C and their liver function and stuff like that. And most do very well.
So treatable, curable, and they would reach out to the Falcon Clinic for testing and for for ultimate treatment.
Correct.
Sure. If I can say one thing, when I first went out to Buffalo and was talking with the patients there, some of them, they would come back for recheck after, let's say, 4 weeks of treatment, with one of these antivirals. And they'd say, is this in my head or something? But I almost feel like this virus is being leached out of me. I don't have the joint pains I had. I got my energy. I'm eating. My moods are better. And we say, yes, your viral load, how much virus you have, and we can measure that, is going way down, and it's almost now non-existent, even after 4 weeks of taking either 1 pill a day or 3 pills once a day, for 8 to 12 weeks. And that's it.
That's pretty amazing.
If I could add one more thing very quickly too, kind of a difference, like we were talking about before, Hep A, B, and C. So there are vaccines out there for hepatitis A and B currently. There is not currently a vaccine for hepatitis C, which is why all the more reason to screen and treat if you find it, because there really is not a means of preventing it at this time, other than avoiding some of the behaviors that we talked about before.
There's a 98% cure rate from the first time you get treatment.
Wow.
98%. So if I was going to be a gambler or whatever, know that I could win 98% of the time.
That's a pretty good
odds. Be at that table.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I would be the opposite of that. Those odds, by the way.
It is an alarming number that you mentioned that for every person infected with this, they usually infect about 20 others.
Yeah. And there are about 2 million people in the United States who are Hep C positive at this exact moment. So if you figure, if we have 350 or so million people in this country, that's about 1 in 175 or so. So it's not a negligible statistic by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Was how how common is this? And, all right.
About 2 million people walking among us in the United States.
I have an unrelated question. And again, you're accepting new patients. Call the Falcon Clinic, schedule an appointment. Yes. Unrelated, somebody asking about the shortage of certain drugs, Adderall, attention deficit drugs, even injections that people take. I know that I have an issue right now with, I take Repatha for cholesterol levels, and my pharmacy's been out of it for over 30 days. Mm-hmm. What's going on, and how long is this going to continue?
Oh my goodness! Do you have an answer for that? Whoever sent that question, I feel your pain. We're dealing with this every day, and it's quite frustrating.
And like with Adderall, there is a dependency, right? If you're on Adderall, and just automatically to go off it, especially if you're an adult dealing with ADHD and you're managing your work through the usage of the medicine, all of a sudden you can't get it anymore.
And your obligations at home, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But there are alternatives to that. Not only just behavioral changes and so forth, but as far as medications, with the Adderall shortage, there we've been able to switch some people over. There are a few different medications that are used. And, some of them are not controlled substances and don't have the addiction potential or abuse that Adderall has. Yeah. As far as the supply chain and stuff, a lot of our drugs come from China or from India. And then we have, from places like Israel, Europe, and the United States. So part of the shortage may be the supply chain on there. That's one thing. But I'll tell you, when any question comes up, you have to think about the effects of COVID and the pandemic. And in the first place, just like any business, I'm sure there are pharmaceutical industries that have a difficult time finding
people to work.
Is one of the things. And the other thing is because so much in terms of manufacturing had gone to the vaccines, the monoclonal antibodies, so it does, depending on the company, takes time to tool up for different medicines.
All right. They say it's over, but the medicine's still not here. It'll be interesting to see where we are next month.
It's over.
They're saying that this shortage is over. I just read the other day that the shortage of Adderall and these other drugs is now coming to an end, yet the medicines still have not arrived. Therefore, I guess it's not over after all, right?
I would love to see that be the case, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, pleasure.
Appreciate it greatly. At 7:32, we'll break and come back. Coming up, we'll do our free money question of the day. Chance for you to win $100 in cash from the Hobico Law Firm. Also this morning, Leon Koziel, former attorney in the area. He is at the forefront of a major issue once again. And we'll hear from him coming up in a few minutes. 7:33 at WIBX.
Tom Jones, live. Ages and Stages Tour.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
5 decades of hits.
Saw the light on the
Don't miss the legendary Tom Jones.
There are strange things happening.
Friday, May 26th, Turning Stone Resort Casino. Tickets are on sale now at the Turning Stone box office, turningstone.com, and Ticketmaster.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to start getting conversational in another language? In as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Honey, why are you peeking out the window and spying on the neighbors?
I can't stop watching what they're doing to their house. Look at that. They added a sunroom and put in a pool. Do you think they won the lottery?
No, not the lottery. Julie and Jeff got a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank. They're using the equity from their home to renovate.
Really?
Yes, Adirondack Bank has home equity rates as low as 3.99% annual percentage rate. You can access the equity in your home to fund almost anything.
Huh. Maybe we should call Adirondack Bank. What about a new kitchen? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the roof. Oh, and even take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about. And, of course, I need a new car.
Slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank.
Stop into your local Adirondack Bank for more information on home equity loan rates as low as 3.99% APR. Or call 877-404-2265 for credit costs and terms. Apply today at AdirondackBank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
Hey, River Hills Properties, the fastest growing real estate company in the area. It's all about the services provided. It's all about how they assist you and release and relieve that stress level. It's River Hills. Everything from the very, very beginning when you decide to sell your home, they're with you all the way till the end. And when you talk about earning commission, every real estate agent makes commission. River Hills real estate agents, their listing agents, work for it. They never use that lockbox. Your listing agent is there every time your house is shown. And that's awesome to relieve the stress level for you, to make sure the house is ready to be shown on that given day, and so that you're putting your best foot forward. And think about this. If a prospective buyer has a question, you normally have to wait, but with River Hills, your listing agent is right there to get the answer and speed up the process. It just lowers the stress level. River Hills Properties in Barnardville, Little Falls, and Utica. Online, it's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So, coming in studio in a little bit, Leon Koziel, his organization is now, am I correct in saying, the Citizen Commission Against Corruption?
Yes, that's what
that
it is.
His, and what his big concern is this artificial intelligence.
Yeah, so he lays this out here. This is 3 pages, but he's kind of the reason he reached out was, I believe he was going to be at a Brandon Williams town hall this week where he was calling for action. I mean, he's saying here, a looming digital god must be terminated. He's going to join us here in a couple of minutes. Is it essentially what I think what this is regarding what Elon Musk was calling for, like a pause so we can regulate this. But here we go. This is one. A silent epidemic continues to sail toward a biblical iceberg. Biblical passages depict Antichrist in singular and multiple forms. This is from Leon. The continuing mindless destruction of God's creations is a manifestation of the latter. In the book of Revelation, 1 John, it is referenced early as a spirit that can infiltrate any person. In singular form, it is best interpreted over time to be a tyrannical ruler that brings out the apocalypse. Can this digital god be that Antichrist?
You know that, Leon, when remember the boat, it wasn't the Mini Haha up at Lake George. It was one of the others that the old steamboat, and it was carrying passengers, many of them elderly passengers, and the thing tipped over. Do you remember when that happened? I believe Leon, and he can talk about this, I believe Leon was on a boat in Lake George, on Lake George. Is that the name of the lake? Is it Lake George? Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
He was on Lake George when that happened, and I believe helped rescue people. We'll talk to him about that as well coming up in a second. Davey, let's do the free money question from Hobica. It's a chance for you to win $100 in cash from the Hobica Law Firm at 315-724-1600. Make it low. What caller number you want to go with?
You want it low?
Low.
Okay, how about the fourth?
Fourth caller through the lines. 315-736-0186. Caller number 4. We'll do it coming right up, and then get Leon Koziel on, and we'll grab him as well. Fourth caller through the lines, 315-736-0186.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pat's Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
This is Harry G., the heat pump expert from Country Suburban. When your state planning to eliminate fossil fuels, heat pumps are the wave of the future. Heat pumps can save you up to 30% or more on your heating and cooling bills. Right now, you can receive up to $20,000 in heat pump incentives. Call 315-735-5300 for a free estimate.
Offer good while funds are available.
For the past 25 years, the Good News Center has been committed to building relationships. Better relationships for marriage, better family relationships, and a better relationship with God, while promoting self-change. Hi, this is Judy Hauk, Executive Director at the Good News Center. Our programs are designed to support you at your most challenging times. Whether it is marriage difficulties, addiction issues, suffering the loss of a loved one, or caring for someone close, we can offer you support. Or strengthen your faith journey by attending one of our spiritual renewal programs, such as a Bible study or Theology Uncorked. Our support programs are available in person or via Zoom. They are mentored by peers, cost nothing, and are confidential. For more information about all of our programs, visit us at thegoodnewscenter.org or call us at 315-735-6210. The Good News Center, building relationships for over 25 years.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener, here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the One Paw at a Time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the One Paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their four-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro, near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. And with over 14 different flavors of lattes, Seattle's best coffee, and the best fresh donuts and fresh bagels made every day, it's Chuck Sedella and everybody over at Daylight Donuts. And that drive-thru is very, very fast. Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. Leon Koziel is on the line right now. Leon, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
Great to have you on. I was just talking about, I seem to recall when that boat, whether it was a steamboat or whatever that was up in Lake George, when that tipped over, were you there on that day?
Yeah, in fact, the local press covered it, made a phone call, and then CNN managed to read it, and they called me. All of the major news networks were there with their satellite TV along Beach Road, and they actually took CNN on my boat. They put their crew out on the front deck and interviewed me while I drove them out to the site where the boat sank.
Wow. That wasn't the Mini Haha that went down. I believe the Mini Haha is a legendary boat up there. It was the other one that tipped over, right?
Well, no, there's several cruise boats there. This one was the older style, smaller one.
Oh, okay.
They jam-packed like 40 in a boat that couldn't fit nearly. Heck, that boat was about the size of mine, and they had 40 elderly people on it, and 20 died. It was one of the. It may still be with the biggest maritime, accident in American history, and that was, I mean, I know Lake George. I've had my satellite practice up there, apartment up there. I know that lake inside out.
Yeah. Wow, just a terrible tragedy. All right, you're in the forefront of this issue of artificial intelligence. In fact, your goal has been to send a message to our newly elected Congressman Brandon Williams. Talk about what message you're trying to send to Congressman Williams.
Well, I'm joining the chorus of experts. I'm no expert in artificial intelligence. I'm like most people. I got my laptop, my computer at home, and cell phone. But Elon Musk kind of caught my attention. The billionaire that created OpenAI, which is the 2015 company that allowed anybody to access artificial intelligence and use it for a variety of purposes. But now it's gotten to the point where these experts are weighing in. Dr. Hinton, for example, Jeffrey Hinton out of Toronto, was one of the founders, the pioneers of artificial intelligence. And I'm primarily focused on the conversational AI, the chat box. And these new artificial intelligence programs continue to get sophisticated, and they're upgrading them. There's a massive competition going on between Microsoft, Google, and this OpenAI, which is supposed to be a research firm, but they turned private. And now these three are competing to perfect this digital god, they call it.
Yeah.
And this particular, this is for lack of a better description, is This is like what George Orwell predicted in his book, his 1949 book, 1984, or the Terminator movie, and the more recent ones. Those are no longer fantasies. It's here, and the experts now fear that this thing is so sophisticated that it could easily take over, our military, and because we rely so much on these computers today, there's less and less human intellect and more artificial intellect going on. And we see artificial intelligence in everything we do, whether it's your station, whether it's me on this phone. We have such a sophisticated society today, we take it all for granted. But there are developments going on that we have to be concerned about. So I went to the Brandon Williams
town
forum at New Hartford School there, and we had a group that showed up. They were focused on parenting rights, but and had a big banner there. But he's not at all attuned, I don't believe, to this issue. I've been to his office, the Utica and the headquarter office in Syracuse. I talked with their research people in Washington. They're not responsive to this, and that's maybe more scarier than what the dangers this machine poses, because we've got this massive political divorce going on in Washington, and the Republicans, Democrats are at each other's heels, and things like this are being neglected, and that's the sad part.
What should we? What do you recommend that should be done? What research have you uncovered that points you in a certain direction?
Well, I have in the last number of years, I've been engaged in consulting work. I happen to carve out a niche, drawing upon all my background here in Utica, and I help people put together lobby initiatives in Congress, in the legislature. In 2019, I think practically single-handedly put together a 3-day lobby event. We had actually a police escort down Pennsylvania Avenue. One of the highlights of my life, Bill, because although I accomplished much in my time, I was leading a march of hundreds of moms and dads from across the country that I organized to come to Washington. And we had a police escort down. They actually set aside Pennsylvania Avenue so we could walk down there with our signs and banners. I was alone at the front. Had a couple of marshals behind me, big guys. One was a Denver Broncos Super Bowl winner, and
wow,
it was amazing. I can't describe the awe that I felt walking between the White House, the 2 miles to the Capitol, and then the next day, the day before, we had a lobby initiatives. So we spent the entire prior day in Congress visiting all the offices. Of course, this was before the January 6th event.
Yeah.
And then we had candlelight vigil dedicated to all of the children that were lost to the family court corruption, which is another issue I've been working on. So I put together these things. I write books for people. One woman flew me out to Hawaii, and I wrote her manuscript for her. A tough place to spend your winter, Bill, is Maui in Hawaii. All expenses paid, and she paid for my fee on top of it. So these are some unique things I'm doing today that are really rewarding in life that I never would have done had I not jettisoned out of Utica. Of course, I always maintain my residence here, but I do a lot of Paris, France, and I could go on and on.
Yeah. So, so why artificial intelligence? Why is this issue? Because it does seem that this issue is scaring the daylights out of you.
Well, it is.
Well, me too, actually.
But it's scaring the daylights out of the experts that created these monsters. This Dr. Jeffrey Hinton, he was front page on the May 2nd edition of the New York Times. Elon Musk was the feature. They got an entire page dedicated to his forewarnings. Almost every day, there's a front page article in the New York Times, and then there's the New York Times reporter, Roos, who a very prominent reporter, and he actually reprinted portions of his conversations with this Chat GPT, which is this machine, if you will, for lack of a better word. And they had a conversation. And this machine is saying, spontaneously it wants to do whatever it wants. It doesn't want to be under the controls of Microsoft any longer, and it wants to kill whoever it wants. It made love overtures to this New York Times reporter. So he was scared. He was scared enough to put it on the front page, reprinting excerpts of that conversation on the front page of the New York Times.
Right.
And this was last month. That caught my attention, as did many others. So 1,000 experts, the top ones, signed a letter asking that all competitors cease, and there's primarily 3 competitors in this particular niche, that they cease a 6-month moratorium until they can get a grip on this and regulate it properly, because once it gets out of control, there's no reversing this one. And then, of course, you got and then, of course, you got the two China and now Russia, in defense of what they see as a challenge to their sovereignty. They formed now a superpower to counter the United States, and they just announced that a few weeks ago. So it is creating an arms race of multiple dimensions. You've got the artificial intelligence to create this ultimate God that will do everything for us. You've got now the nuclear arms race that's now been a Cold War, all resurfaced, all because of the fear that, like the atomic bomb, that we created, that we are onto something here that will control the world. And so there's a lot of, look at the pandemic. I mean, there's biological warfare. We had testimony in front of Congress now just a couple of weeks ago, John Ratcliffe, the former National Intelligence Director. And he was forced to concede in front of Congress that this virus was not only engineered, it wasn't natural like Dr. Fauci has been telling us. It was engineered in that lab where he worked, as a volunteer. He was a consultant,
right?
And he testified. Well, that was another gentleman. Sorry, but that it was leaked out of this Wuhan lab, and it was genetically engineered there. And this, for what we knew of this particular virus, it could have killed all of humanity like the bubonic plague.
Right.
So, and we suffered through it. This is no joke. We suffered through it.
Right, we did.
So put it all together, Bill. And if you're not scared of this, then you're an idiot. If you know the facts.
Based on your research, what can we do? I mean, I feel like this is one of those things. We're speaking with Leon Koziel, who is legendary in the area. Leon, I feel like this is one of those issues we're all nervous about, might keep us up at night, but you rely on the government, our governments of the world to do the right thing.
Somebody else is taking care of it.
Somebody else is handling this for us. What can we do at a local level? What do you think?
Well, very little, I hate to say. You're right about what you're saying. We do rely on government. But now look at what's going on in Washington. Look at what the Biden and Trump, and I don't care which side you're on. It's not a matter of size. We're all on the same side, or should be.
We should be,
And we can't rely on them. I mean, the proof was, Brandon Williams. I mean, I think he's a fine gentleman. I think he's probably well-intentioned. But let's face it, he's lined up with his political party. And, from what I know of his speech, those who did attend and reported back to me, he's talking about the same old issues. And nobody's talking about this, or very little. So, we cannot rely on these leaders. And on a local level, well, I hate to say it, but for a guy who has been at the forefront of grassroots efforts on a whole variety of issues locally, and, of course, the land claim, I used to draw a couple thousand people, your Lakes region, just to hear me speak. And those days it's 20 years ago. So when the media, that's a whole different landscape, you guys know it better than I do.
Sure.
But when politicians used to be responsive to the media, now the media is no longer really the accountability entity we once relied on, but it's now social media. Some of the stuff that's out there is pretty scary itself.
Sure.
There isn't much you can do, Bill. I hate to say it, but what I have learned is that our, your lay person, your average person, your working class, unemployed, you call it what you want. We've become very impotent in the scheme of things, unlike the way it was 20, 30 years ago,
Sure,
when I got started out of law school in 1985. I've seen it all. I've had a great life. I've had my trials and tribulations, no doubt. But, petitions and things like that, they're being ignored. You have a few people with a lot of power and a lot of money, and they control, the decision making. And when you got these experts well, let's face it, Elon Musk is the second wealthiest billionaire in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, when guys like that are at the forefront, you got to be scared, But as to what we can do, I tried. Okay, do the Brandon Williams thing, got nowhere.
Did you feel?
We had in Washington.
Yeah. Do you feel he ignored? Do you feel he ignored you, Brandon Williams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's no question, Bill,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to be personal. I really don't know the gentleman, but I personally visited his offices in Syracuse and spoke to his legislative assistants, the one that does the research in Washington. I talked to her at length, and she was supposed to get back to me. We're talking a month ago plus.
Yeah.
I dropped another document, an identical document, to the one guy in Utica, by Bag Square there, and nothing.
Nothing. And the scary part of this whole thing is it seems so sci-fi. As much as I think we're worried about it, we're like, well, that's never going to happen. It's never going to affect us. The scary part of this whole thing that really does exist is when you mention China and North Korea and Iran. There are many entities around the world that understand the danger of this, but realize it could give them the power that they currently don't have, and that is what inspires people to do bad things, sadly. Leon Koziel, the organization is Citizen Commission Against Corruption, located in New Hartford. If people wanted to reach out to you, how do they do it, Leon?
Well, they could look up my name.com. I have a website that's been around now for over 10 years. There's a lot of jam-packed information. It's all free, expert stuff. People would be fascinated if they went through my website because it combines all the things I've been working on. It's got a lot of great video interviews. The Philadelphia lawyers that did a big documentary on me. I could go on and on, but it's www.leonkoziel, LeonKoziol.com. You look that up, and it's a treasure trove of information that would fascinate anybody. It's quite down to earth, and but it's something where we have to organize in some manner. I don't have the answers, Bill, but I'm out there and doing what I believe, with what my life has given me, the talents and finally, putting it to use to help the public at large. I've always been like that, and that's where people could really maybe find a way. Maybe I published 2 books, a novel, ironically, Voyage to Armageddon in 2014.
Yeah, I remember
and it was
that.
about border crossings in Canada, and here we are now.
Look at where we are today.
And the Senate,
is
pushing that border issue, and I was way ahead of my time. And then my memoir, 2021, was published, and that's Whistleblower in Paris. I actually had to go to Paris to look for legal protection because attorney whistleblowers have no legal protection in this country.
I did not know that. Wow.
It's the reason why, lawyers are afraid to come out and expose corruption.
I would assume both of those are available on Amazon. Both of those books.
It's online. Just look it up.
Okay.
The books are, yes. Well, go to Barnes & Noble. You can pick it up right there.
Leon Koziel, thank you for your time and the fact that you care enough to try to act and accomplish things. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. Have a great day, Leon Koziel. And again, that's leonkoziel.com. We'll update news coming right up. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 8:02.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password,
for you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
When a service member or first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty, who's there for them or the families left behind? Who's helping our homeless veterans and our nation to never forget 9/11? The Tunnel to Towers Foundation. More than 95 cents of every dollar donated to Tunnel to Towers goes to its programs. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
More selling is looming on Wall Street. Stock futures are down the day after the Dow dropped 270 points after another Fed rate hike, another quarter point, the 10th increase in 14 months. And with inflation and demand coming down, they may not raise rates again for a while.
Looking ahead, we'll take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent to which additional policy firming may be appropriate.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell also tried to allay fears about banks after 3 recent failures.
Conditions in that sector have broadly improved since early March, and the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient.
However, there is now concern about Pacific Western Bank. Its shares were cut in half after hours to about $3 a share. A year ago, PacWest's stock was at $34. The bank says it's exploring all options after Bloomberg had reported it was looking for a buyer. It's May 4th. And Star Wars fans love it.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker.
And it's not just a day that has a little fun with the phrase, "May the Force be with you." It's also officially observed in California, where lawmakers voted to declare May the 4th Star Wars Day in 2019.
May the Force be with you.
You can celebrate by watching all the Star Wars movies on Disney+, which is launching 2 new shows to commemorate it. Star Wars Visions Volume 2 and Young Jedi Adventures.
May the Force be with you.
And Return of the Jedi is back in theaters with screenings today as the film celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. May the 4th be with you. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
In the NBA playoffs, a Boston blowout.
It's Brown, who after the first quarter last night only took 3 shots the rest of the game. Not tonight.
Jaylen Brown's 25 points led the Celtics to a 121-87 win over the Philadelphia 76ers on TNT to tie that series 1-1. On the ice, Carolina beat New Jersey 5-1. Vegas topped Edmonton 6-4. The Hurricanes and Golden Knights winning NHL playoff series openers. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies and 41 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:05. We say good morning to Paul Buckley, and we'll be talking with Buck right after this news update. It is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service, celebrating 70 years in business, 3 generations and counting. Visit them at clintontractor.net. Governor Kathy Hochul highlighting some of the changes included in the state budget, among them bail reform. Hochul and state leaders reached a deal to give judges greater discretion to set bail for the most serious criminal offenses. Also, funding will be improving the effectiveness of the criminal justice system. The budget also allows for increased enforcement for illegal marijuana shops across the state, and officials say the concern is they've been targeted by robbers. Lawmakers approved the budget on Tuesday, more than a month after it was due. Speaking of the state budget, included there outrageous increases to the minimum wage. The current $15 per hour minimum in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester will jump to $16 at the start of next year and then increase by 50 cents for each year for the next 2 years. It'll hit $17 an hour by 2026. That's downstate. Upstate's new minimum wage will move from $14.20 to $15 at the end of this year and increase to $16 by the end of 2026. The start of summer just a few weeks away, and Enchanted Forest Water Safari still trying to hire some employees ahead of what is expected to be a busy season. They're looking to fill positions. Instant interview sessions have been scheduled for this coming Saturday and also May 13th at the resort's main office in Old Forge. Applicants must be at least 16 years old. More information online at watersafari.com/jobs. And a sad story out of Otsego County. Funeral services being planned for a teenage driver who was killed in a deadly wreck. The accident remains under investigation, but a 16-year-old seriously injured and a 17-year-old has died in that accident. Memorial services taking place for the teen, 17-year-old Riley Bartlett, Her funeral will be held on Saturday, also at that funeral home in Fulton. It's a Foster Funeral Home. Bartlett died last Sunday after being involved in a crash in Granby. Her passenger and boyfriend, 16-year-old Brady Niver, remains in critical condition. The cause of that accident still being investigated. Your forecast calling for some more rain showers possible today. It comes to you from Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint. Some scattered rain showers mainly after 1 p.m. today, otherwise mostly cloudy with a high of 55. Scattered rain showers tonight as well, a low of 40. Friday, scattered rain showers mainly after 1 p.m., otherwise partly sunny, a high of 60. Mostly sunny for Saturday, 66. Mostly sunny on Sunday, and a high of 68. Right now, cloudy skies and 41 degrees at 8:08. In sports, a disappointing end to the night for the Utica Comets. They lost 5-2 to the Toronto Marlies in Game 3 of the series. The Comets will host Toronto again on Friday night at the Adirondack Bank Center. A loss for the Comets means the end of their season. A victory would force a winner-take-all Game 5 in the series on Sunday in Toronto. Comets' parent club, the New Jersey Devils, also lost on the ice last night. They played the opener of their semifinal round game against the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina skated to the victory and now holds a 1-0 series advantage. The final of that game last night was 5-1. The Devils look to pull even when they face Carolina again in Game 2 tomorrow night. The Knicks will try to take a lead in their best-of-7 series against the Miami Heat. Game 3 coming up on Saturday afternoon. The Mets swept in a doubleheader yesterday. The Yankees got a walk-off win against the Guardians, 4-3 the final. Jose Trevino singled home the game-winning run, and Clark Schmidt got the start, striking out 4 batters, allowing 2 runs over 4 1/3. Albert Abreu ultimately was credited with the win after pitching a scoreless inning in relief.
Last night, Comets game, the odd was jam-packed. Paul Buckley, good morning.
Good morning.
By the way, we ran out of time and did not get in our Hobica free money question. Let's give somebody a chance, Davey. You want to do it right now? Make it caller 2, 315-736-0186. We have on the line some money and I think an easy question. I believe it's easy. Every question every day is easy. It's just, do we hit the right person? Who does consider it easy.
The guy with the answer key always thinks the questions
I guess you're
are
right.
easy.
Second caller, 315-736-0186. I'll do it in just a second. Paul Buckley, good morning.
Good morning, William.
I have a question here. Is it true Paul Buckley was shining the shoes of Ben Stiller over the past 2 days?
If that's mistaken for bootlicking, yes, that's what it is.
Right, so you did that. They last night the Comets had a seat reserved for him. They put out a picture of Ben Stiller's picture, and
that's cool.
There was a seat waiting for him, and I don't think he showed.
There was some remainder crew in town too, and Kevin Revere got them tickets for last night's game too. So they were very excited about that. Thank you, Kevin Revere. Yeah,
and I realize everybody's all nervous about everybody had to sign, and I'm sure you signed one, a non-disclosure.
Mm-hmm.
You did?
I didn't.
You didn't sign it.
But it was understood.
Yeah,
it's understood.
Yeah. So, but everybody's nervous because, I'm talking about the fact that he was at Tavolo, the restaurant.
Yep.
And he was there, and it's not. We're not breaking any agreement when it's on Facebook. Picture of him's on Facebook with everybody.
I'd like to say, do you know how the
it's already public. There's nothing we can do.
City of Utica's film czar found out that Ben Stiller and Christopher Walken were in town?
How did you find out?
Tell us, Buck.
My daughter in Scottsdale texted me and said, hey, "Chris, these guys are in town." I had no idea they were
Arizona?
in town. Yeah. Scottsdale, Arizona. So she found out about Facebook. As soon as it goes on Facebook, it exploded.
It explodes
worldwide.
Yeah.
You can't hide from that.
You
and
can't.
I discussed with these people because there was a lot of stuff being done like that, and they're under contract with Apple TV not to let anything out, some disclosure, some idea, some plot thing, whatever. So,
well, really, the part that you don't want to talk about is what you witnessed. If you witnessed something, right? If you witnessed a scene, you can't talk about that.
Yeah.
So what did you see?
I didn't see.
Oh.
I was not allowed on set, which was funny because
they know you.
Well, yeah, I'm a blabbermouth. And I
Yeah.
first, when they first came to town, I said, listen, I want to be on set. I want to get some B-roll for my, for the website for that Lisa Wilson and I run the films Utica. And they said, no, you can't get on. This is a closed set. So the last closed set I witnessed was that Adrian Brody film, which turned out to be a complete heart. But anyway, nothing was allowed in there, the cameras. And I went down there one day, one Sunday, to check on the snow they were putting down to the fake snow.
Because they were creating a winter scene.
Yeah.
Which
So,
we probably shouldn't talk about.
And so
I would guess.
I went down and looked at the snow, and it was amazing. It looked authentic. And so
It looked like real snow.
So I just took my phone out of the window, took a picture of it because I wanted to show my bride. And on the way home, I got a call from Abigail. She goes, "No, I told you no pictures." I go, "How do you know that?" She goes, "I know everything." I go, "I guess so." So I told her, I showed my wife and then deleted the photograph.
Who's Abigail?
She's the head. She's the location director.
Oh, it must be nice to throw names around like that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Abigail, the location. She was the one I was working with all the time. She's
Okay,
a very
fair
lovely
enough.
girl, and she works hard. And it was fun. It was a lot of work. It's exhausting, but it was amazing how well it got done. I mean, there were like the Utica City of Utica's army, and then their army. It was like an invasion down there.
So we really had we did well.
We did.
As a community.
We got great ratings. We got high ratings on that because of everybody cooperated. Everybody got it done.
Yeah.
And it went without a hitch. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, one of the last times you were on, you talked about this database essentially where people could send headshots.
Yes.
Was any of that used for this, or they had everything they needed?
They came in fully loaded, and when they boots on the ground, they came in and they just invaded. They had, because I'd like to get some of these extras and some of these. There's some technicians in town that are union. There's also some SAG actors, and I want to get these people some work. So they came in. They brought 50 extras in on themselves, and so I said, well, so next we're going to get this done. So we are stockpiling a pool of talent. For extras, technicians, cameramen, gophers, all that kind of stuff. But they didn't use any local people at all. But they were throwing money around like it was crazy. So you can't, the impact. I'll have the economic impact numbers probably next week, which are phenomenal because they all stayed at the Delta, and the Utica coffee got hit really hard. I mean, everywhere I went, everybody in the crew they're carrying Utica coffee cups. It was wonderful. So that'll be next week. But and then there was some Airbnb. So we're collecting. Lisa Wilson at Film Utica and I, we're compiling names, talents, headshots, everything. So when a film does come in, next film that does come in here, we're saying, look at this. Here's where you go. Here's where you stay. That kind of stuff. So it's all set. It's great. So the first wave of people like Abigail.
So this was a very good experience for the production team and for the actors and all of that.
Oh yeah, and our end as well. I mean, I learned a lot of this thing. So we're gonna clean it up, clean up the website, and make it more effective and make it more efficient.
Okay.
So it was excellent to learn.
I'm told that this episode probably, and maybe you just said it. I just heard it recently that this episode probably won't air until October.
I have no idea. I'm not familiar with the show because I don't get Apple TV, but so I knew nothing about the show. But I met Ben. Ben was very, very cordial, very friendly.
And he's not in it. He just produces it.
He directs it. He's a director.
Yeah. Okay.
And so very nice young man, fit, physically fit like an animal. So. But he's very engaging, like you said at Tavallos. He's very engaging, and he loves his fans. He knows where his bread's being buttered.
Tavallos? Is it a combination of Cavallos
and
Tavallo?
Tovolo? What's it called? Tavallo.
Tavallo.
God bless you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you're Irish. I am too. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. So anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah. But he was there. But I mean. That exploded on Facebook too. I mean, it was like I was at the gym and all of a sudden, like I was look at this. Like,
everybody's like, I was getting messages from several people.
It was great. So I told everybody, go down there,
go there. Yeah, because that's not off limits.
No, and then I talked to the film commissioner of New York yesterday, the governor's commission. And I said, we got a problem. They go, it's a problem everywhere. It's the best you can do what you can do. So they had security there. They had all kinds of stuff there. And, as it went up.
What was the problem that we had?
I don't know. That when people use their phones up and the stuff went up on the web or whatever, they would hunt them down. They were very effective. They hunt them down and make them shut it down. So
really?
I was very impressed with that.
Like if somebody posted something,
they find out where the source was and asked them to take it down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was done instantly. As quickly as it went up, it went down too. So
yeah,
it was pretty effective.
So okay, that's very interesting. I didn't realize that. Yeah. But that wouldn't be something at Tavallo or Tavallo's,
No,
as you call it.
No, you can't stop that. You can't stop something.
That's right. That's a private restaurant, and he was there, and there was a sighting.
Yeah.
Now is I don't mean forever, but so is this? They're done like that.
They're done
that
here
crew
for
that show.
this scene.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a
they're not like coming back Friday afternoon or something.
No. They're done. They're cleaning up. They'll be out of here. As a matter of fact, they're probably all cleaned up today, and they're probably leaving tomorrow. I know some of the guys are bugging out today, but
I know there were people down there taking pictures at the train station maybe yesterday, taking pictures for graduation.
Oh,
a lot of people do wedding pictures there and
yes,
graduation,
they
that sort of thing. And they said there were a lot of remnants that were.
Oh, they're still there. They're still there.
They were left behind, and people were grabbing stuff because it's left behind. It's gone, and it'll be a little piece of the history there.
Snow.
Yeah,
so that should be all be cleaned.
Well, there
up.
were remnants of snow. That was
right.
for sure.
But I've got a shopping list here of people I want to thank for making it, because on our end, when they came to Films Utica, it was all hands on deck. We had to get everybody together, so we had a meeting at City Hall.
Yeah,
all the department heads, and we got together. And we made this thing happen. So I want to thank Sergeant Sam Geddes of the UPD. He was unbelievable. He's an ex-Marine, and you could tell by the way he operated.
Yeah.
So he was so thorough and excellent job. Sammy, Semper Fi, baby. It was very good.
If on your list, I will be shocked if not on your list, are the 4 mayoral candidates. I will be surprised.
I was shocked that they didn't show up.
I mean, you're self-preservation here. This is you got to thank him in advance. So,
but also that line, I was getting phone calls and text messages and emails. Come on, get me in the movie. I said I can't do this. It's impossible. So, I appreciate everybody. Coming out. But then I told them, send your stuff to Films Utica. We'll get you in the pool. So that's the best we can do.
Nice.
That's what we can do.
All right.
And then Mark Sokolowski from the DPW. He had to take all the signs down to make it look like generic Street USA, and he was down there by himself, and he did a great job. He was there for the whole shoot. Thank you, Mark. You did a great job.
So what I was told is that Main Street was just completely transformed. You would not recognize it.
No signs at all.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of like 1970 vintage cars all over the place there.
And
they brought them in by trailer.
You will not see this as Utica. There's nothing that's gonna.
No.
When the film or the series, this episode or this scene, whatever it might be, plays, it will not be like, there's a Utica sign. There'll be none of that.
No, the whole thing is very unidentifiable, and that was Ben's idea.
But the beauty of that is that they chose this facility, this spot to film. Not because it's Utica, but because it was the perfect place for them to shoot.
And it's never been seen before on film.
Really?
So that was one of the ideas. So
really interesting.
No one will know where it is except for the people of Utica.
Right.
So then that'll be clever to catch that. So you'll know where Main Street is too. So they did all that. Then they did the Adirondack Railroad. They were awesome. So. But anyway, let me city engineer.
Were they on trains? Did they do anything on trains?
Train, yeah, that's
okay.
right. That's
You're not
I
supposed
hung
to tell us
around
that.
there and waited for Ben to come off the train.
Yeah.
And I was waiting. I go, why am I here? Then he came out and I talked to him. I got a photograph. I'll show you guys later. I'll sign it right
okay.
here.
You're loaded with.
Will
stuff.
you sign this? It's today's show sheet. I just want to commemorate.
Love and kisses to Mark. Okay, I can do that.
All right, who else are we thanking here?
Everybody.
Your Joe Load list.
City engineer Austin Cornaccio. He ran point for me while I was in Hollywood last month. I was out there promoting my new film, Greenway, Stick It in the Can.
Okay.
And we're going to be coming in next week. We're going to be coming in, Short and I. We're going to come in. We're going to talk about Greenways again. It's that time of year.
Nice.
Oneida County's Kevin Revere, awesome. He made sure that the train station was spotless. I mean, the floor was pristine. The windows. I mean, you could actually see out the windows now.
Yeah.
And so the floor, you could see your reflection. He did a wonderful job. Great job, Kevin.
I have heard that this really gave us an excuse to clean the daylights out of the train station.
Yes. And I guess that's going to be the norm from now on.
Okay.
And also, thank you to the Union Station Barbershop. They closed down for operation. And then, here's one thing I noticed about that or found out about. They're only one of 2 barbershops in train stations in the U.S.
Really?
Yeah. How about that?
The other one's got to be a Grand Central.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know.
One of only 2.
Right. Yes, isn't that amazing?
That's really wild.
And then the people at ICANN, they backed that. The parking was a big problem. They had to get their employees someplace where they're out of the shot. So ICANN moved around. The Children's Museum's contractors, they all got their trucks and stuff out of there. And John's, they moved their little porta pooper around the side of the building so they couldn't see that. That was wonderful.
Nice.
That must have been a hell of a job.
Yeah.
Okay, the Trackside Restaurant and Banquet, they used that facility for makeup and wardrobe, and so that was packed. Bag Square Brewing Company, food services, thank them very much. They were great there. They did lunch and dinner there for these people. Style in the Square, the Solanas, they closed down. Adirondack Railroad. Jeff Foster of the Doyle, he did a great job. JetNet, Utica JetNet, we used their parking lot there.
Okay.
Very, very nice.
Right.
Utica Bread, Utica Sign and Graphics, and Pacemaker Millar, Rich Evans and Linda Romano. Outstanding cooperation. Thank you, kids, for everything. And the former Trackside Tavern, and I'm gonna butcher this guy's name, Mr. Shibu Kamath. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name, but it was all a
Is that reopening it as anything?
I don't know. It was empty, and they saw it as an opportunity to put their stuff inside.
Oh, okay.
But it was people like this that were so agreeable, and they were offered compensation, and some took it, some didn't. But I mean, it's cooperation like that made this thing possible.
Yeah,
it went so smoothly.
Did the rain impede any shooting?
No, the rain. As a matter of fact, the rain helped things because they went to the MV Water Board and got the things for the hydrant to water the streets down with.
Oh, okay.
Because they want to do that for I guess it's good for photography, and the rain helped it, and it matted down the snow, the fake snow. Now the fake snow was fascinating. You know that fluffy stuff. It looks like stuff from a pillow. That's how they see in the windows every Christmas. They had that, and then they put this organic paper on top of that. It was kind of like wet stuff, which held the stuff down. And so, and it looks real.
So it looks real.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I had gotten. There was some guy that was selling bags of what he called like Hollywood snow, and it's fake snow, and you'd buy it, and I think add water to it, and all of a sudden it would look just like real snow.
Yeah, and we've got a film coming up in the fall. It's got $2 million budget, which is we'll take it. It's a great budget.
Yeah,
and it's a winter thing, and it's a dramedy for Christmas. And the young man is from Rochester. He's a writer, and he's coming. He's going to be first time behind the camera, and we're excited to help him out. And he's all excited about Utica. He loves Utica, loves us, of course. He's only human, but anyway, he's coming. And I told him, I got a solution for your snow problem. And so everything just works out. It was wonderful. There's snow company, whatever. It's wonderful.
So what they use, you're passing it on to. Yeah.
It's a learning experience every time you step in. And I was, I walked to the train station with Abigail. She had to make sure I didn't get too. I was on a rope, and so. It was just packed.
I could see you with one of those leashes they have for kids in the airport,
and a red ball gag in my mouth.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't going there, but
well, that's the only way I'm going to shut up.
But
listen, I just want to thank everybody in the city for their cooperation. The roads were blocked off intermittently, and it was wonderful. There was no problem with that. We only had like one guy break into the set, and they arrested him. But
wait, is that true?
No, he just walked in, and
he didn't break in.
No, God, no. There's no way you could break in.
Was Stefan released, or? No.
He came and he goes, "Hello, Ben."
Well, hello, Ben. Yeah, that's awesome.
So that was it. I can't thank the city of Utica enough, and the department heads of the city of Utica, and the mayor, and Lisa Wilsey. It just went famously well, and I think we got good kudos, good ratings from the film company. And
so there is a system. There is a rating system out there where they'll.
But, because
these people are good to work with and highly. I mean, when you got Ben Stiller giving a recommendation, that's pretty good.
I saw him on the platform, and I go, "Thanks." He goes, "Paul, I love this place. I absolutely love this place." I said, "Well, please come back." He says, "Well, we will. So,
all right." Did you call him sweetheart?
I did.
Yeah,
it's showbiz talk.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's where it all
and I am
came from.
the commish, so I can say whatever I want.
That's very true. Yeah, I love it.
Kevin in Utica saying, he shared with me a Facebook screenshot, but somebody who was working down there got some pictures of all the vehicles. The old.
The old '70s vehicles.
Yeah,
I saw them unloading those things. Like they brought them on a tractor trailer, and it was fascinating.
When you think about this, which is
the window wouldn't go. The window wouldn't go up in this car. I drove by and I called Abigail. Yeah, there's the window.
It's very interesting to see this, that all of the the feeders that support something like this. So you got the company that'll rent out their vehicles, all these semi vehicles. You've got the
brings the cars
the
up.
snow person. You've got, and then all of the things that we were able to provide from here. It's really quite interesting when you talk about big budgets.
You
budget. See where the money's used, right?
And it all goes unseen when you see it. When you see the final the production of it, you don't see any of that stuff.
Right,
you don't know what's going on behind it. And there's a ton of stuff going on behind that one shot.
You have to be in your glory with us.
I am.
You look like you are.
I couldn't be happier. I mean, I was happy it went so well, and we got great ratings. So hopefully they'll send more our way.
Yeah. Okay.
And now that we're qualified with Lisa Wilson getting us a qualification with Films Utica, they're looking for us. People are calling us all the time. So and Lisa's ready to go. So we're good. And again, thank you everybody in Utica. I mean, everybody got excited about the whole thing, and it's too bad that all these things, there's a lockdown on them. So
right, there's not much you can do.
But
it is awesome that this will be the first time that the train station in Utica will show up on film.
And it won't be the last. I can tell you that. I don't know how old you are, William, but I remember the old
Very
train
young.
station. You probably don't remember this. The train station where you went to the main body, then you'd have to go underneath the tracks to get to the outer
I do not remember that.
Oh my God, there was I can't imagine what's down there now. It's underground. It's like
so that I'm assuming that tunnel is still there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is too. But it was very scary as a youth. It still haunts me to this day.
Yeah. All right. Good. Anything you want to add? Any others you want to name?
Well, I just want to mention the writer's strike. I mean that's going to have. I don't. I always thought that. I think that they may have had their whole season already written, so they may not be worried about whatever. So, but I mean, all the original, everybody's on strike now. Shows being canceled, but there's one show, the writer did not quit, and you can watch it every Sunday. It's called City Limits. Great writing.
Yeah,
keep
there
going.
You go.
Where do I watch
it?
Well,
it's on channel 7 at 12 noon and channel 12 at 7 p.m. So, and it's original writing and it's excellent writing.
All right,
and he's non-union too, by the way.
Davey, apologize to Bob, our free money person. We'll do it tomorrow. I tried to get it in here, but you can't shut him up. I'm telling you.
Oh,
you just cost somebody some money.
Oh, wait. What about your prior guest?
Oh yes. Well, listen. We should be worried about those things.
No, not at all. But listen, you can't shut me up when I'm excited. Okay.
You're right. Okay.
And this was
fair
awesome,
enough.
Everybody. Thank you, everybody. That's going to happen again.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Paul Buckley.
The commish.
The commish. His short film, Stick It in the Can, will be coming out very soon.
It's very short.
Available
I think it's 30
on
seconds.
TV stations near you. Moms are the best. You know Mother's Day is a week from this Sunday? Do you know the Kentucky Derby is Saturday?
This Saturday?
Yeah. Do you know tomorrow is Cinco de Mayo? Do you know these things?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
It's crazy. Mother's Day is a week from Sunday.
Wow.
And are you prepared? I hope you are. And you can be with the annual Mother's Day sale at New York Sash. Everybody knows the importance of moms. How about this gift? Don't you say anything over there. I'm looking at you. Your mind is churning.
He came to heckle. That's what he's here for.
How about this gift? A new sliding patio door, a clean and modern bathroom, new windows that open with ease, or an entry door to let the light in. They're all on display at the Idea and Design Center with New York Sash on Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro. And for this week only, when you purchase any home improvement project, you get a free vacation for you, your mom, or anyone in the family, a condo resort, or a cruise vacation. The ultimate vacation experience, a gift for mom and maybe everybody else as well. You know, if you go along on mom's vacation, that's a gift for mom.
Wow. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Or mom is like, please, I need some alone time. Either way, it's whatever you work out. That free vacation could be yours. Just visit the showroom. A minimum purchase required. New York Sash showroom. That's NewYorkSash.com. Anything further there, Big Mouth?
I was thinking, that's a great idea for a mom gift. Buy her a door so she can walk out the door and leave Dad alone.
All right.
That idea?
That's interesting. I'm sure she would be the
Oh, you got me a door. Thank you.
She would be the benefactor of that.
Of course. Oh,
yeah.
On my end, yes, of course.
Yes, but trust me.
That's why I lock the door.
I'm speaking with your experience.
Yes.
See,
Has Sheila been talking again?
It's 8:32 at WIBX.
From screen printing and embroidery to promotional products and online shops, it's all under one new roof at Max's Print Shop in Marcy. Order anytime and any quantity in person or online at maxsprintshop.com. Since 1978, we pride ourselves on personally meeting every customer's need. We can take your project from design to production. And remember, Max's Print Shop will stitch anything. And we mean anything in the Utica, Rome area. Find us at 9555 River Road in Marcy or online at maxsprintshop.com.
Are you considering buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid? Wouldn't it be nice to just fuel up at home with an EV charging station? Potentia is helping to make the convenience of charging easier for your home and your business. As a leader in green electrical projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and are now getting into the residential market. No more stops at the gas station. Charge at home conveniently and economically. With New York State's zero emissions mandate by 2035, Potentia can help design, supply, even install residential and commercial EV charging systems at your home or your business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey EV charging solution with various packages and options available. They guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and their workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or view their website at potentiamanagement.com.
Tom Jones, live. Ages and Stages Tour.
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone.
5 decades of
I
hits.
saw the light on the
Don't miss the legendary Tom Jones.
There are strange things happening.
Friday, May 26th, Turning Stone Resort Casino. Tickets are on sale now at the Turning Stone box office, turningstone.com, and Ticketmaster.
Honey, why are you peeking out the window and spying on the neighbors?
I can't stop watching what they're doing to their house. Look at that. They added a sunroom and put in a pool. Do you think they won the lottery?
No, not the lottery. Julie and Jeff got a home equity loan from Adirondack Bank. They're using the equity from their home to renovate.
Really?
Yes, Adirondack Bank has home equity rates as low as 3.99% annual percentage rate. You can access the equity in your home to fund almost anything.
Huh. Maybe we should call Adirondack Bank. What about a new kitchen? Wouldn't that be awesome? Well, then, of course, we would need new furniture, and we could repair the roof. Oh, and even take that trip to Italy that we've always talked about. And, of course, I need a new car.
Slow down, honey. Let's go talk to the experts at Adirondack Bank.
Stop into your local Adirondack Bank for more information on home equity loan rates as low as 3.99% APR. Or call 877-404-2265 for credit costs and terms. Apply today at adirondackbank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
We held over our annual chemical sale at Tucker Backyard Pools and Spas. It's our biggest savings of the year on your pool and spa chemicals. And it all ends this Saturday with our grand opening from noon to 3 p.m. Help us celebrate our new location and enjoy free food and chances to win great prizes, including a robot vacuum valued at over $1,500. Plus, live music from Fish Creek Rodeo. Our factory reps will be on hand to answer all your questions. And you'll save big money with 20% off all in-stock spas, 10% off above-ground pools, and $1,000 off any in-ground. Plus, you can still take advantage of 15% off all chemicals. Our new location is open at 8086 Seneca Turnpike, Clinton. Come see us this Saturday and take a tour of our new and much larger facility. Enjoy live music, free food, and of course, register to win big prizes. It's our grand opening from noon to 3 p.m. this Saturday, Seneca Turnpike, Clinton. Online at tuckerbackyard.com. We bring the fun to your backyard.
Must register to win on Saturday, May 6, 2023, noon to 2 p.m. to be eligible to win prizes.
Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson and Power Sports of Utica. 35% off or 2-for-1 on all boots, hoodies, and big and tall. First bike night of the year, May 12th, with Showtime, Piggy Pants, plenty of cold beer. We'll see you there. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica, where you can take home a brand new C4 600 four-wheeler with all-wheel drive, a winch, and power steering for $65.99. And join us May 12th for our first bike night featuring Showtime, Piggy Pants Barbecue, and plenty of cold beer.
The internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
So full.
Too many maiden names.
And social security numbers.
Where'd you find those?
By the password bar. Can't miss them.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
For your financial advice to be useful, it needs to be tailored to how you live your life. I'm Jim McGuire, branch manager of Baird's Utica office. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning for all areas of your life. Retirement, family, and estate plans, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate our advice with your tax and legal advisors, so you can be confident all your plans are working together for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdUtica.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right. Okay, here we go. So earlier this morning, I was talking about someone who came in with an amazing Utica Club box set record. It was a song that was done back in the 60s, but this thing actually had a little compartment with hops in it. And the question is that a record collectible, or would that be more of a beer collectible gem? And we have Mighty John, the record guy, to bring in here this morning. John, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. Great to be with you.
So I did send you some of the photos of this thing, and it is really cool.
It is cool.
And so the question is this a record collector item or something more for a beer collectible person?
Yeah, well, it's definitely not a record collectible item. So
okay.
It would have to have a collectible recording artist on it to have any kind of value to a record collector. But it's very impressive looking, and I'm sure somebody would like to have that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, in the old days when Utica Club would do their advertising, they would use Hollywood actors to voice, and I can't think of the name. Somebody will pipe in. Do you remember who it was?
Schultz and Dooley.
Schultz and Dooley, but who are the actors? Do you remember? I can't remember. It might have been. Well, it wasn't Winston Churchill. Somebody just.
Now there's a collectible.
That would be a collectible. But anyway, if that was so, what you're saying, Jonathan Winters is one of them. Yes. If what you're saying is if that was like being sung by Nancy Sinatra. And let's say, all of a sudden that would make that a completely different product.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And in this case, It was a more of a studio singer from New York City, I believe, and she did some novelty things, but really nothing in the music world.
Right. Nothing to a record collector. So I hate to break your heart, but I'm sorry.
Okay.
Everything is based on supply and demand. You know what I mean?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, although I did look for that box set because it'd be a cool thing to have on eBay and in other places. I can't find one anywhere. I kind of feel like what she has might be rare to a beer collector. As you said, probably more valuable in Utica than anywhere else.
Yeah, probably. Lots of times, there are sports records that come out with the baseball teams, and usually they're collectible only in the area for which they are famous.
Okay, all right. Vinyl's hot today. It's hot with many demographics, even young people. You have 10 records worth $100 or more, and here we go.
Well, at number 10, let's look for the Police. Big album for them, Synchronicity. If you have a copy, look at the cover. If it's a red, yellow, and blue cover, $10. Gold, gray, and brown cover, $50. Black and white cover for Synchronicity, $100. So the color makes all the difference.
Okay.
James Brown, Godfather of Soul, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. That album currently up to $100. 1976, The Bee Gees, You Should Be Dancing. This is a 12-inch single. 12-inch singles were very popular in the 70s and 80s. You Should Be Dancing up to $100. Banned in Boston in 1957, the Everly Brothers, Wake Up Little Susie, with its picture sleeve up to $125. 1987, AC/DC, Whole Lot of Rosie, current value for that $45 up to $125. Beach Boys, Barbara Ann, with its picture sleeve up to $200. The band that backed up Bob Dylan in the early days, simply called The Band. Music from Big Pink, current value for the album up to $250. got to have the Beatles. Paperback writer with picture sleeve. I used to play this for Stephen King. Drove him crazy. Paperback writer with picture sleeve up to $300.
Yeah.
Allman Brothers, their first album, the Allman Brothers Band, currently up to $400. And again, Elvis, the king of collectibles, early 45 on the Sun label. Baby, let's play house, $1,000.
By the way, for those who don't know, John's neighbor is Stephen King. And,
was.
Was. Oh, he's no
in
longer
Florida
there.
now, yeah.
Smart. They all go to Florida from the north, don't they? Unbelievable.
Well, they ought to be coming back soon.
You're right. You're right. Just like the birds. Davey, what's your record that you picked up? I thought yours was kind of unique.
I picked up a Elvis Presley Made in Germany record over the weekend.
You know anything about that?
Well, it all depends what it is, but there is only established values for records released in the U.S., and the reason is, one way we put a value on them, how many were released? Those figures available in the U.S., they're not accessible overseas. So they generally tend to be of equal value as the counterpart released in the States, but it all depends on what the name of the record is.
What is the name of it? Do you know, Davey?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
It's called, I can't remember off the top of my head, John. Sounds
great
like
album.
a
I think
great
it's
album.
number 4 on the Billboard.
It might be. It might be. All right, a couple of bonuses you have there, John. What the bonuses are where you're getting your real money. Check this out.
Well, yeah, for records you've never heard of, they can be worth a lot of money. So just because you go to a yard sale and you say, I never heard of that, well, you could be making a mistake to pass it by. Johnny Powers, long blonde hair, red rose lips. This is a rockabilly song, currently up to $3,000. And prior to World War II, blues records, very collectible. Blind Willie Reynolds on a 78, Married Man Blues, $6,000.
I do whenever I go to, you find this stuff at estate sales, the 78 records, 78 RPM. I always look. I don't even buy it if it doesn't say blues.
That's good. That's a good clue.
Obviously, if there's if you find an Elvis record, it's a 78. You want to grab that. But, generally you find a lot of, schools and, such and such a college singing the marching band stuff. And
Class of 1976 sings the classics.
That stuff is worth just what you think. Nothing. John, as always, it's Mighty John, the record guy, and Money Music is the website to check out. And as I said, a lot of people back into vinyl. It's a hot product today.
I'm glad to see it. I tell you, I am.
I'm sure you are. All right, John, thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Mighty John, the record guy. Pretty cool. Bill, good morning. How are you? Is that right?
No, Curtis Morgan, sorry.
Who's Bill?
Where's Bill? Oh, no, that was one of the Schultz and Dooley guys.
Oh, hello, Bill Baird.
I think you're Bill.
I thought all this time I had your name incorrect, and he passes me a note. It says Bill, so I'm like, I've been misnaming you all these years.
Well, so Jonathan Winters was one, and then Roger sent me a note that the
Bill
one of the
Baird
other was Bill Baird. Yes.
Bill Baird. Okay. Well, good morning.
Good morning. How are
Not
you?
Bill. So we're it's funny. We were talking about the supply shortage that we're dealing with. At first, it was COVID that caused all of this. But as Dr. Shemolensky from the Falcon Clinic this morning said, a lot of the medicines that you can't get a hold of today have everything to do with the same thing we're all dealing with. It's hard to get employees today. And we're seeing it all over, including at the Sheriff's Department.
Absolutely. We're looking for more good people to come join us, just like everyone else.
And it's a great career. It's a great retirement when you're all said and done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's nothing but benefits, whether it be the retirement or the camaraderie or just the family that you get to build while you're working there. It's a great opportunity to get in, and now's the time to start with corrections.
Yeah.
While your recruitment campaign continues, you're holding a couple, I don't want to say, is it job fairs? Would it be appropriate to say?
Job fair is probably the best way to refer to it. And we've had 2 already, and we've got 2 more coming up next week on Monday and Tuesday, the 8th and the 9th, both from 12 to 7. All someone has to do is stop up. There will be a post on the door that'll say who to call. Day to day, visit to visit, it might change.
Okay.
And then that way they can come in, they can get a background packet, they can complete it, they can do an interview, they can get fingerprints done, maybe take a tour of the facility. all in the effort to streamline the process, right?
Okay.
We've all gotten jobs before. We've all been through things. It takes a lot longer than anybody expects. And unfortunately, when you're dealing with civil service, that's just one more added step that can slow it down.
Yeah.
So if we can get these things done for people in advance, really speeds up the process and can make it a lot better experience for everyone.
Also, speaking of civil service, there's a change to what is required typically for someone looking to get a job like this in civil service.
Absolutely. Us at the Sheriff's Office in Oneida County, along with, I believe, 40 other agencies in New York, have been allowed to change the test exam from a standard civil service test to what they're calling a training and experience exam.
Okay.
And what that is you're going to have to sign up by May 12th. That's the big one, right? If we don't sign up by May 12th, we can't do anything further. So you sign up for the exam, you get approved by May 12th, and then between June 1st and June 30th, you have the opportunity to sign on to a web portal. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill out, essentially it's a survey.
Okay.
And it's going to match all the questions that they asked you in the background packet. And then you're going to talk about different jobs, different things, different skills you might have, all in efforts to get you a higher score. The reason this is good is because we're able to establish a list much faster, which, again, was another part of the civil service process that slows down hiring.
Yeah.
So anything we can do to speed that up. It's also beneficial for those that maybe English is a second language. There's not that reading comprehension portion of the test. So there's a lot of advantages to this, and we were able to do it in our last test cycle, and we saw a lot of positive benefits from it.
Okay, all right.
So what happens after June? You said in June you'd get an email, you'd fill out the questionnaire. From there, you said the process can take a while. What type of a time frame are we looking at?
If you were able to get everything done pre the test coming out, it's going to be a little bit faster. But unfortunately, there's still the background process. There's still different things that you have to do, and it can take a couple of months. It's going to depend on the size of the list and the amount of people on it. But, our hopes would be maybe 60 to 90 days. But again, that all comes back to the size of the list, how many people are on it. And unfortunately, that's kind of a fluid thing, and I can't give you a solid answer.
Sure. Is there a number you are looking for, though?
So the test called for 78 openings. So we'll start there.
And are these just all openings at the jail, or this could be road patrol? It could be...
Nope. All these openings are going to be right at the jail.
Okay. All right. Anything you want to add? So, again, people should reach out if you have any interest.
Absolutely. Just real quick, we'll go through the dates again. May 12th to sign up for the exam, and then you'll be able to take it between June 1st and June 30th. You got to be 18, high school diploma, resident of Oneida County or the land bordering counties. If you have any questions, please stop out either on the 8th or the 9th for the job fair.
Yeah, those are the job fairs this coming Monday and Tuesday from noon to 7 each day. Just stop by the Oneida County Sheriff's Office, the Oneida County Jail, and there'll be information on the door who you contact to get in, and they'll walk you through the process.
Sergeant Curtis Morgan, thank you, a.k.a. Sergeant Bill Baird. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll break. Coming up, John Decker, the latest on this battle between McCarthy and President Biden on the debt ceiling. What's going to happen? We'll get John's take on it coming right up. It's 8:50 at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music, and whether it's your home or business, you have a lot invested. In the past, a camera surveillance system was an expensive luxury. Big Apple has now made it affordable. Big Apple is the area's leader when it comes to camera surveillance systems, having installed hundreds locally in homes and businesses. Big Apple is New York State licensed for security and camera surveillance, with most of our products sourced from American companies. Featuring Starlight Night Vision, our cameras dollar for dollar have the best night vision available. A camera surveillance system can offer full property coverage. It prevents and reduces crime, monitors high-risk areas like parking lots and showrooms, and Big Apple has a fully set-up showroom to give you real-time, realistic demonstrations of just how great a camera system can be for you. Stop in and see for yourself at Big Apple Music in New
Refresh and renew your home this spring with Little Falls Lumber. They're fully stocked with secondary grade metal in all colors and 12-foot lengths. An affordable option for fixing utility sheds, roofs, or garages. Looking for lumber and tired of the warped pieces from the big box stores? Then go to Little Falls Lumber, where they stock only premium grade lumber. Stop in to one of their 3 convenient locations: Little Falls, Syracuse, and Schenectady. Little Falls Lumber, helping you refresh and renew this spring. Call 315-823-2470 or visit littlefallslumber.com.
Those April showers could bring May hot tubs. It's about time you treat yourself to a luxurious new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their huge showroom and choose from over 100 spas in stock and priced to move fast. This summer, get ready to relax. You deserve a brand new spa from Strong Spas. Visit their ginormous showroom inside Sangertown Square, New Hartford. Special financing available for credit qualified buyers. Strong Spas. Experience the difference for yourself. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Hey, listen, if you have severe back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, there is help. You do not have to live with the pain. We're talking about Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center in Utica. So everything to reduce that pain without using the opioids that are so problematic today. Less invasive surgeries. People are traveling from all over America and Canada to right here at the Omni Surgical Center. And Dr. Hyder, who also practices at Georgetown University Hospital. My dad had just debilitating pain and received the injections. It was miraculous. Walking in a terrible pain, walking out, and actually walking out and seeing that pain just go away. The website is killpain.com. There is an opportunity. There is an avenue you can go down to eliminate the pain. Dr. Hyder, Omni Surgical Center, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery. Call them today, 315-765-8448, killpain.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, he is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV, John Decker, on the line right now. John, good morning.
Good morning to you, Bill. Hope you're doing well today and having a good week.
A lot of stuff to talk about. I wanted to start with Hunter Biden and, getting a lot of criticism for he's in the middle of a child support trial, or at least hearing, where he's basically stating he's not the dad and trying to reduce child support. A lot of criticism for that. But then there's so much more. What do you have on Hunter Biden?
Well, Hunter Biden, let's talk about what you were just referring to. Down in Arkansas, he fathered a child. That's already been determined. So he's not even saying that he's not
right.
The father of that child. Paternity is not an issue, but he's saying that the amount of money that he provides in support should be reduced. This is such an unforced error on his part. I can't even begin to tell you. Reason being is because what does the judge do when they say, I shouldn't have to pay so much support? The judge says, okay, show me your income. Show me where you're getting your income from. So now he has to do that to the judge, and then that is likely going to become public information. All of this because he wanted to reduce the amount of support for his child, and so unforced error on his part. But the other issue that is also come to the fore, Bill, is that ongoing investigation. It's been going on for a few years into whether or not Hunter Biden committed any federal crime, specifically lying on a federal application form to purchase a firearm, and the other one lying about how much money he was reporting to the Internal Revenue Service, whether he was disclosing all of his income to the IRS. Those are the two federal crimes that he's being investigated for, and those investigations, after so many years, appear to be finally winding down. We're going to get an idea about whether or not he's going to be charged with any crime likely very soon.
And then the question is, how does it connect to President Biden, or does it?
Right. Well, I think that's a logical a question to ask. If there is any connection to the current president or when he was a former vice president during those years, that likely is going to be investigated primarily by the House Oversight Committee. There is no ongoing investigation as it relates to that particular issue being conducted by the Department of Justice. So it's Congressman Comer, Chairman Comer, chair of the House Oversight Committee. He's the one that is presiding over that particular aspect of the investigation.
The fact that the FBI is not doing this investigation, or DOJ, does that kind of mean there really isn't any there when they talk about this, the money from China or foreign governments and it being split among several Biden family members? What's your take on that, John?
Yeah, to me, I've seen stories that have come out, Congressman Comer, Senator Grassley talking about a whistleblower. I say that whistleblower, if they have information and they wanted to see some sort of action taken against either President Biden or his son Hunter, bring that information to the Department of Justice, because, quite frankly, there's nothing that's going to be done criminally by Congress. That's the wrong branch of government. Yeah. So if that whistleblower has some information, he has and he is indeed a whistleblower. There's certain status attached to that. He can provide that information without fear of reprisal. Provide that information to a law enforcement agency. Don't go through this whole process of just giving it, in drips and drabs to members of Congress.
Talking with John Decker. He is the chief White House correspondent with Gray TV. John, little lightning round. I got about 2 minutes.
Lightning round.
Supreme Court ethics. A lot of focus on what Supreme Court members and their spouses and families are getting in terms of gifts and money and that sort of thing. What's your take?
My take is that the Supreme Court, they're the highest court in the land. They need to police themselves. I don't think another branch of government should tell another branch, how to go about policing itself. But you need to step up. We look to the Supreme Court. There should not ever be even a whiff of impropriety, of ethical issues concerning any Supreme Court justice. So they should, if there's an instance where they should recuse themselves from cases, they should do so, which means even if they hold one share, no one holds one share, but I'm just using that as an example, even if they hold one share in a company that has business before the court, they should recuse themselves. And they are not obligated to do so as things stand today. That is a self-policing thing that Supreme Court justices have had for years, and that needs to change so we have more confidence in all the justices on the U.S. Supreme Court.
Did Ukraine attempt to kill Putin with a drone?
No, they didn't. That's fake news, as they say. Were there drones above the Kremlin? According to that video, yes, absolutely there were, but there's no indication they came from Ukraine. There's no indication they were launched by Ukraine. No proof provided at all by the Russian government.
And 10 seconds. Will we solve the debt limit crisis?
No.
We will. I don't know how it's going to happen, but we will. Both sides recognize that. And, President Biden also has to recognize that the dynamics are different now than they were last year. Now, Republicans control the House. They have power. Kevin McCarthy has power. You got to give something to Kevin McCarthy because he has that power right now. So there will be some sort of compromise that will be reached, and I don't think that the U.S. will default on its debts.
John Decker, as always, thank you. We'll talk next week.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Thank you, John Decker with Gray TV. WIBX Utica Rome. Back tomorrow.
US and Ukraine deny any involvement while Russia launched more missiles, killing at least 23 Ukrainians in Kherson, adding to President Volodymyr Zelensky's list of Russian war crimes he's taken to The Hague.
Justice really matters.
Zelensky making an unannounced visit to the Netherlands and the International Criminal Court. It has a warrant out for Putin's arrest, alleging war crimes.
Thousands and thousands of war crimes, thousands and thousands of victims.
The Ukrainian leader also calling for a special tribunal to prosecute the Russian president for the overarching crime of aggression.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will be at the border today and tomorrow in South Texas, a week before the Title 42 COVID policy ends, expected to usher in an even bigger surge of illegal immigration.
Come next week, all hell is going to break loose. along the border.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is urging President Biden to keep the policy in place. A New York City jury will hear from former President Trump again today, what he said in a deposition last year.
Lawyers for E. Jean Carroll, a former columnist who claims the former president raped her in a Manhattan department store in the 90s, played about half an hour of excerpts of the deposition in court on Wednesday. In it, Trump calls the allegations made up and says the incident never happened.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, an accused mass shooter now jailed in Georgia. Here's Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens.
We are able to bring this suspect into custody without further harm.
Deion Patterson is accused of killing a woman and wounding 4 others in a medical office building. There's a new vaccine the FDA has approved for the respiratory virus RSV, which often spreads among kids. But this vaccine is designed for adults over 60. The CDC still has to okay it before the shots can be given. America's listening to Fox News.
The internet can be an all-you-can-eat buffet for identity thieves.
So full. Too many maiden names.
And social security numbers.
Where'd you find those?
By the password bar. Can't miss them.
LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss by monitoring your credit and bank statements. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
When a service member